Chapter 598. I'm really fine, Yao. Don't lie to me, a middle-aged man said after listening to Wang Yao's diagnosis. I'm really fine, Wang Yao said with a smile. You should eat, drink, and sleep. Don't think too much. You think too much, the middle-aged man said. You're stressed. The middle-aged man was still skeptical. He wasn't the only one who had such thoughts. After all, they had been scared out of their wits these past few days. Think about it. In the past, people who often met and chatted with each other suddenly fell ill, were quarantined, and then died. No matter who it was, they would not be able to accept it in a short period of time. Most importantly, the disease continued to spread. Over the past few days, Wang Yao had received a lot of calls. Tian Yuantu, Li Maoshuang, Wei Hai, and others all called to ask about the situation. Even Sun Yunxing called to ask if he needed any help. This incident did not have much impact on Wang Yao, but the number of patients who came to see him was less than usual. In Jing, thousands of miles away, flowers were blooming in spring. Su Xiaoxue stood alone in the yard, looking at the sky. No one knew what she was thinking. What are you thinking about? Song Ruiping came from behind. I want to go out for a walk. Where are you going? Well, I want to go to Dr. Wang's place to have a look. That won't do, Song Ruiping said. There is an outbreak of an infectious disease there. Song Ruiping said. He naturally knew about this matter, but he had never mentioned it to his daughter these days. As expected, Su Xiaoxue immediately asked with concern, Infectious disease? Is Dr. Wang in trouble? He's fine, Song Ruiping said. He has developed a treatment drug. That's good. The drug was developed by Dr. Wang. Of course, Dr. Wang is amazing, Su Xiaoxue said. Okay. Song Ruiping nodded. This daughter of his, while the mother and daughter were talking, someone came in from outside. Guozhenghe is outside. Let him in, Song Ruiping said. Ai. After a while, Guozhenghe walked in with a bright smile on his face, like the sunshine of spring, and 2 boxes of tea in his hands. Auntie Xiaoxue. You're here. Take a seat. Without entering the house, they sat in the courtyard. This is spring tea produced in the county. Although it's not a famous product, it has a unique flavor. I brought it for you to try. Thank you. Song Ruiping smiled. Spring tea was harvested around the Qingming festival. In some places in the south, it was slightly earlier. Xiaoxue didn't go out these few days? Yes, he went to Xiangshan, Su Xiaoxue said with a smile. Where else do you want to go? I happen to be free these few days. Let's go out for a walk, Guozhenghe said with a smile. Yeah, I don't have anywhere I want to go for now. Let me know when you've made up your mind. Okay, Su Xiaoxue said with a smile. While they were talking, Su Xiaoxue's brother arrived. Brother. Su Xiaoxue seemed to be very happy to see her brother. Hey, how have you been recently? Su Zhixing also loved his little sister very much. Pretty good. I went to Xiangshan a few days ago. Mom, Zhenghe is also here. Brother Zhixing. Why are you back? I have some business to deal with. Guozhenghe very sensibly said goodbye and left. After he left, Su Zhixing asked, What did he come for? Yes. What is it? It's for your little sister, Song Ruiping said with a smile. Mom. Him? Su Zhixing knew Guozhenghe was interested in his little sister. Let me think about it later. He didn't say anything, but after hearing the news from his mother, he secretly sent people to investigate Guozhenghe's performance in office. Of course, it was a secret investigation. As a result, there were 2 different opinions. One said Guozhenghe's excellent performance and was a rare young talent. The other said he was too scheming and was very scheming at a young age. Scheming was a good thing, but it was also not a good thing. The key was how to use it. What do you think, little sister? I don't like him, Su Xiaoxue decisively said. If you don't like him, then don't like him, Su Zhixing immediately said. This was also a statement. Everything would be according to his little sister's wishes. You are brother and sister. Song Ruiping smiled and pointed to her son and daughter. All right, I still have something to do, so I have to go out for a while. You two can take your time to chat. With that, Song Ruiping left. Brother, why did you come back this time? I have something to do, Su Zhixing said. I have to see an old friend and ask him about something. By the way, I'm also going to go to your master's place. Go there? What for? As soon as Wang Yao was mentioned, the little princess of the Su family's eyes began to shine. Of course, I'm going to ask him for advice. You don't know, but this master's kung fu is really at the peak of perfection. It's amazing. Su Zhixing, who had been lucky enough to see Wang Yao's kung fu, was amazed. When are you going? Yes, do you want to go too? Su Zhixing knew what his little sister was thinking with just one sentence. Why? Can't I go? Why not? Wait until I finish my official business in Jing, Su Zhixing said. Su Zhixing knew that the army was not like other places. Discipline was strict. You could not come out whenever you wanted and go back whenever you wanted. Well, I'm afraid we can't go even if we want to, Su Xiaoxue said. What do you mean? Su Zhixing asked. There is an infectious disease in the place where Mr. Wang is, Su Xiaoxue said. What a coincidence! Su Zhixing was surprised. Is he okay? With Mr. Wang's ability, of course, he is fine, Su Xiaoxue said. He has also developed drugs to treat infectious diseases. They are being produced on a large scale, but the mountain village is still in a state of martial law. TSK, what should we do? Su Zhixing asked with a frown. In addition to his official business, he also wanted to go to the mountain village. He wanted to ask Wang Yao to come out and be their instructor to teach them how to fight. This was a half-private, half-official matter. He had not expected to encounter such a thing. I'm afraid this trip will be delayed, Su Zhixing said. Not this time, but there will be another time, Su Zhixing said. Yes, Su Zhixing said. I'm not going there, Su Zhixing said. I'll stay at home with my little sister. Tell me, where do you want to go? Wudong Mountain. What? Su Zhixing was stunned. Why are you going there? The holy land of Taoism. Su Xiaoxue's reason confused him. Well, if you want to go, I'll go with you, Su Zhixing said. In the mountain village, the panic was still unsettled. There was one more infected person. What should I do? Wang Yao called Professor Wu. That day, a large number of decoctions arrived in the mountain village near evening. Every household had the decoction. Whether they were sick or not, they could take it first as a precaution. This also made the people in the mountain village feel a little relieved. Just like that, another 7 days passed. No one in the village fell ill again. The martial law was much more relaxed. People were allowed to go in and out, but they had to be registered. After going out, they had to be questioned when they came back. Everywhere they went had to be recorded. Come with me to see your grandpa, Zhang Xiuying said. I haven't been there for a long time. They miss you. Okay, Wang Yao said. Wang Yao drove his parents to his grandparents' house. The two elders were relieved that their family was fine. In the evening, the village secretary, Wang Jianli, came to their house again. He looked worried. More than a dozen people had died in this storm. He was the village secretary. It would be a lie to say that he did not have any thoughts about it. Uncle. Uncle is here, Wang Yao said. A few words of greetings and a pot of tea. Recently, a lot of people in the village have been looking for me, Wang Jianli said as he lit a cigarette. What's the matter? Wang Yao asked. They all want to leave the village. They can't wait. There was a short silence. They are scared, Wang Fenghua said as he puffed hard on the cigarette. Yes, they are scared, Wang Jianli said. The building that Mr. Sun is building in the county has been built. Many people who originally planned to stay in the village have decided to leave. How many families will be left in the village? Wang Yao asked. Haha, 30 families or even less, Wang Yao said. So few. Wang Yao was surprised. Hey, so few people. Can this still be considered a village? Wang Jianli asked. If there were only a few people in the village, it would not be considered a village. Such a village would not be prosperous. It would slowly become dilapidated and then disappear. Such things were not uncommon. Chapter 599. In fact, many villages in Lianshan County were in the same situation. Most of the people living in the village were over 50 years old. Few young people were willing to live in the countryside. To be honest, I have also considered moving out, Wang Jianli said after a moment of silence. If you move out, what will happen to the village? Zhang Xiaoying asked. Wang Jianli had been the village party secretary for more than 10 years. He had a good reputation, whether in town or in the village. I have discussed with my wife. We will stay in this village unless the higher-ups arrange for us to move, Wang Jianli said. What about you? We will live here, Wang Fenghua said. They had also discussed it. Even if they were the only family left in the village, they would still live there. Hey! Wang Jianli smiled after hearing that. In his opinion, one family was the only family left. No matter what, this was still a village. They had lived here for decades. It was a place that was difficult to leave. Wang Jianli chatted for a while at his home. Then, he left. In the past few days, he had visited many families in the village. He started with a few influential families in the mountain village. After this incident, I am afraid that not many people are willing to stay, Zhang Xiaoying said. Yes, Wang Fenghua said. Wang Yao did not say anything. In fact, he preferred fewer people. Fewer people meant less trouble. However, he could not say this in front of his parents. At around 9 p.m., Wang Yao went out and headed for Nanshan Hill. The mountain village was very quiet. Almost no dog barking could be heard. The villagers were worried that the dogs would be infected. Many people's dogs had been poisoned to death. Wang Yao walked to the south of the village. He turned around and looked at the village behind him. The atmosphere of the village had changed. This was a somewhat surreal feeling. The next morning, someone came to the clinic. Pan Jun came. He heard that the level of martial law had been lowered, so he came. Master, are you not on duty today? Yes, are you okay? I am fine. Have a seat. With a pot of tea, the master and disciple sat and chatted. Master, I heard that the medicine was developed by you? During this period of time, in the county hospital, they had heard a lot of news about this disease. The absolute protagonist of the news was Professor Wu from the capital and the medicine. Yes, Wang Yao said with a smile. Master is amazing. Pan Jun sighed sincerely. What are you talking about? It's just a coincidence. After that, Pan Jun told Wang Yao about some of the things that had happened in the county hospital. He even told Wang Yao that some of the doctors had been infected with this terrible disease. However, at that time, the medicine had already been developed. The people were saved, but they were still in shock. While the master and disciple were talking, Wang Mingbao also came. Ah, I can finally come in. Over the past few days, he had called Wang Yao many times. After all, it was his hometown. He was still concerned about the matters here. Are you all right? What can happen? Everything is fine. I just met a few people in the village. From what I heard, most of the people in the village want to move out. Yes, there is such a thing. Tisk, it's fine. Why did that kind of thing suddenly appear in the first village? Wang Mingbao asked. At noon, Wang Yao did not ask Pan Jun to stay for lunch. Wang Mingbao went to his grandparents' house. In the afternoon, Wang Yao went to Shishan Hill alone. The atmosphere in these places was still a bit oppressive. Although it was much less oppressive than before, it meant that the danger was still there. I have to think of a way to completely solve this problem. In a courtyard in the mountain village, ouch! Chen Zhou covered his head. Just a moment ago, he suddenly felt a headache. Sister, He did not feel very good, so he shouted into the house. What's wrong? Headache? Is it bad? I have a bad feeling. You'd better ask Dr. Wang to come and take a look. On Shishan Hill, Wang Yao was walking around the dead place. He was thinking about a plan. He had thought about it many times in the past few days. Suddenly, the phone in his pocket rang. Hello, Chen Ning. Xiao Zhou has a headache. He may have an attack, Chen Ning said. Wait a minute, I'll be right there. After hearing that, Wang Yao did not stop for a moment. He walked a few feet in one step and went down the hill in an instant. Soon, he arrived at the courtyard rented by the siblings. How is it? Headache, Chen Zhou said. Let me take a look. Wang Yao took his pulse. He sighed softly. What's wrong, Dr. Wang? Chen Ning hurriedly asked. Don't worry. The meridians in his head began to move on their own again. He had noticed this problem when he was in Jing, but he did not find the cause. Now it had happened again. He observed carefully. It was changing. Does it hurt? It hurts. Hold on. Okay. Chen Zhou clenched his teeth and held on. Beads of sweat appeared on his forehead. Time passed very slowly. Chen Ning, who was watching from the side, was very anxious. The change was still happening. It was like a pair of scissors slowly cutting a piece of paper. In the middle of the change, it suddenly stopped. It felt like plowing the ground, but a big stone suddenly appeared in front of him. It was interrupted. After this change was interrupted, something even more peculiar happened. The disordered meridians began to return to their original positions. Since this path was blocked, they returned to their original path. During this process, Chen Zhou also felt unbearable pain, as if there was a worm running left and right in his head. The pain was unbearable. He clenched his teeth. When the meridians returned to their original positions, the pain also faded. Phew! Phew! He breathed heavily. His clothes were soaked with sweat. It doesn't hurt anymore? It doesn't hurt anymore. It's okay, Wang Yao said. What happened just now, sir? Chen Ning asked worriedly. One of the meridians in his head was dislocated. This should be the cause of his strange illness, Wang Yao explained. But you don't have to worry too much. It has returned to its original position now. You mean, he has recovered? Yes, that's what I mean. This situation was beyond Wang Yao's expectation. He was a little surprised. Will Xiao Zhou have another attack? Chen Ning had thought that his brother had recovered. He did not expect that there would be signs of another attack. It's hard to say, Wang Yao said. But I think the automatic return to its original position may be a good sign. Don't worry too much, sister. Chen Zhou comforted his sister. I feel much better now. Well, don't worry too much. The interval between his attacks is increasing. Yes, we will stay here for a while. Sorry to disturb you. You don't have to be so polite. After staying there for another hour to make sure that Chen Zhou's situation was not abnormal, Wang Yao left. He went up Shishan Hill alone. After carefully walking around those places, he went down the hill and returned home. In the evening, the lights on Nanshan Hill were not extinguished until after midnight. The next day, Wang Yao got up very early. San Xian, come down the hill with me. Woof, woof. San Xian was very happy to hear the call. The man and the dog walked along the west side to the north. Wang Yao walked very fast. The rugged mountain road was like walking on flat ground. The dog's natural speed was also very fast. It jumped a few meters away. It seemed to be a little bigger. It was more and more like a lion. Soon, the man and the dog came to the pit that had been covered with lime. Woof, woof, woof. San Xian obviously did not expect his master to take him there again. It made him very uncomfortable. Don't be impatient, San Xian. Wang Yao gently patted the dog. San Xian, do you think there is a problem here? Woof, woof, woof. San Xian seemed to be saying, aren't you a consultant? Let's go to a few other places to have a look. The man and the dog went to several other places in Shishan Hill and finally stopped next to the rock. Woof, woof, woof. San Xian barked particularly loudly. He was very uneasy and even walked back and forth. What's the matter? Wang Yao said. This rock? He walked to the side of the rock. Woof, woof. San Xian barked more fiercely behind him. It seemed to be reminding him not to get so close, as if the half-hidden rock was a large bomb. Chapter 600. He looked at the stone quietly and reached out to press on it. He held his breath. He felt that the stone seemed to be trembling. It was a very slight tremor. What's going on? He felt it carefully for a while. There's something in it. What is it? Break it to see? At this time, not to mention the stone in front of him, even if it was a piece of steel, he could break it. Woof, woof, woof. The dog behind him was barking uneasily. Wait! What could be in the stone? Hibernating frogs, snakes, mice, or insects? What if they rushed out like a swarm of bees after the stone was broken open? Let's go. Wang Yao left decisively. The dog followed him. After a while, he came back with a big bucket of alcohol. San Xian, step back. The dog saw Wang Yao's gesture and stepped back. Wang Yao reached out to press on the stone and slightly pressed. With a crisp sound, the stone made a crisp sound. Then, it broke and fell to the ground. There was nothing. Wang Yao continued to press, and the stone slowly broke. Wang Yao suddenly stopped. He saw a bug the size of a maggot, but it was dark all over. Its carapace was black and shiny, and its limbs were sharp. It also had a pair of big pincers that were obviously not proportionate to its body. It did not have spikes, just like a bee's spikes. What kind of bug is this? Wang Yao was shocked. He had lived in this small mountain village for so many years and walked around the nearby mountains, but he had never seen this kind of bug. It seemed to feel the change in the external environment and the strange creature next to it. The bug quickly crawled toward Wang Yao. It looked like it wanted to sting him. Interesting. Wang Yao squeezed the bug. The bug was broken into pieces. Continue. He continued to break it. He saw that the inside of the stone was like a beehive, and a large number of bugs crawled out. Woof, woof. The dog kept barking when he saw this scene. He had already rushed forward. Step back, San Xian. Wang Yao waved his hand, and then swept the insects into the porcelain bottle he carried with him. Then, he opened the barrel of alcohol he carried with him, poured it directly, and lit the fire. Ping! The flames directly burned, making crackling sounds like a fried egg. At the same time, a pungent stench spread out. What kind of insects are these? Why are they in this stone? Where did they come from? At this time, Wang Yao had a lot of questions in his mind, but he could basically confirm that these insects were most likely related to the sudden outbreak of the infectious disease. What he needed to do now was to completely eliminate these terrifying insects. Break for me. Wang Yao threw a punch at the stone that was still burning. Crack! The stone cracked like a candy pastry and more worms fell out. The fire was still burning. He then threw more worms at it and the crackling sounds were different. Squeak, squeak, squeak. Suddenly, a mouse leaped out. Rats, there are actually rats in here. Wang Yao heard the sound and was quick to react. He reached out and caught the mouse in his hand. The hair all over its body was black. It squeaked and struggled. It opened its mouth to bite Wang Yao, but two of its teeth were broken. You'd better behave yourself. Wang Yao bent his finger and flicked it. Kacha, kacha, two of its legs were broken. San Xian, look at this. If it wants to run, just trample it to death. Wang Yao threw the wailing mouse directly on the ground, then turned around and continued to deal with the insects. The alcohol didn't seem to be enough, so he found some dry wood and even uprooted a pine tree. In the end, he broke all the stones and killed a large number of insects inside. The ground was also scorched by the fire. Behind the stones were wormholes, dense wormholes, and rat holes. Wang Yao really did not understand how the mice lived with the insects. He could think about this question later. What he needed to do now was to determine how many insects there were and whether their caves were this big. So, he continued to dig along the wormholes. His speed was very slow, although he could dig faster. After digging about 1 meter deep, he could be sure that the insects' caves were this big. It seems like that's all. Although the insects were eliminated, he did not relax. Instead, he was more worried. If there were insects here, would there be insects in other places? He did not dare to hesitate. He went directly to the nearest dead place and dug several exploration pits. There were no wormholes, but there were rat holes. He then went to another place, and it was the same. Rat's plague? Mutant. The first thing he thought of was this possibility. What about the insects? What do they eat? Wang Yao left Shishan Hill with a lot of doubts. San Xian, you go back by yourself. Be careful on the way. The dog went back to Nanshan Hill. Is there something on your mind? Zhang Xiuying saw that her son had a lot on his mind while eating. Yes, there are some things that I don't understand, Wang Yao said. Eat first. Okay. While eating, Wang Yao was still thinking about what had just happened. He ate very quickly. After finishing his meal, he hurriedly went up the mountain. What's wrong with my son? Is there something on your mind? It's nothing. Let him be, Wang Fenghua said. Hey, why don't you ask? Wang Yao hurriedly went up Nanshan Hill. He poured the insects he caught from Shishan Hill into a transparent can and then observed them. The insects were very restless or manic. What do they eat? He first threw in the leaves of several plants. The insects did not respond at all. They just crawled around on the leaves. Then, he threw in a piece of meat. It was a very small piece of meat. The insects rushed crazily and gnawed on it. Eat meat? Seeing this, Wang Yao frowned. Eat meat? Why didn't I find any signs of it in the cave? Their eating speed was very fast, and in just a short while, that small piece of meat was eaten clean by them. Wang Yao thought for a while. He took out a piece of miasma grass from the grid of the system and put it in the mouth of the bottle. The insects immediately panicked. It was as if they had seen their natural enemy. Sure enough, they are very afraid of this. Wang Yao found a bone and threw it in. The insects ate it, and their gnawing speed was not slow at all. Are your teeth good? Finally, he threw the dying rat into the hole. Then, something strange happened. The worms didn't eat it. What's going on? Wang Yao was surprised. They don't eat living things. No, there is something on it. These insects won't eat it. In order to verify this, Wang Yao hurried down the hill and returned home. What? You want rabbits again? After hearing her son's request, Zhang Xiuying was a little confused. What do you want them for? Do experiments? Experiments? Wait, I have to go out and ask. Although she did not know what the experiment was, Zhang Xiuying supported her son. Rabbits and chickens are fine, Wang Yao said. At this time, many people in the village have lost their livestock. Don't worry about it. I'll go out for a while. Wang Yao drove out. He went to town and bought some chickens and rabbits. Then, he went home. Mom, can you take care of them? Child, why did you buy so many of them? Look, this one is so sickly. And this one, you didn't even look at them carefully when you bought them. They can't survive at all, Zhang Xiuying complained. Wang Yao only cared about buying. He did not care about other things. Besides, he did not buy them for them to lay eggs or to eat when they grew up. He bought them for experiments. I'll go up the hill first. Ah, son, why are you carrying such a big bottle? Not long after, Wang Yao went up Nanshan Hill. There was an extra chicken in the can. The insects were very excited, as if they had seen a new friend. They rushed forward. It was completely different from when he threw in the dying mouse. Sure enough, there is something on the mouse. The next step is to confirm whether these insects and the mouse have the pathogenic bacteria. This was not something Wang Yao could do. Could not be done in other places. Moreover, it was quite risky. It could be contagious. Chapter 601. What should I do? Wang Yao thought. He didn't have professional testing equipment. If he wanted to determine whether the insects carried the terrible bacteria, he needed to use another method. Got it. He directly let a chick's baby chick be bitten by these insects, then took it out of the can bottle and continued to observe. In the end, it was unknown whether it was because there was something wrong with the chick or because it was too frightened, but the little chick died very quickly. Wang Yao changed another chick. After being bitten, the chick in the stone cage trembled all over. It looked very pitiful. Woof, woof, woof. San Xian barked. Okay, I know. Wang Yao smiled and patted San Xian's head. San Xian seemed to have a good impression of these small animals. In the middle of the night, San Xian suddenly barked. Wang Yao went out to check. The chick was dead again. TSK. It failed again. Wang Yao went back to his room and thought for a while. In the end, he decided to contact someone outside to ask for help. The next morning, he called Professor Wu and told him what he had found. Wait a minute. I'll be there as soon as possible. Professor Wu made a decision after hearing the news. He put down his work and rushed to Lianshan County at the fastest speed with only one reliable assistant. Wang Yao stood on the top of the mountain and looked at the adjacent Shishan Hill. The crisis was not over yet. It could come back at any time. Should I burn down Shishan Hill completely? Wang Yao even had such an idea in his mind. Life in the mountain village continued. The martial law was lifted. People seemed to be relieved. During this period of time, the long-term depression of the threat of death and the change of direction of imprisonment had made the mountain village people on the verge of psychological collapse. Suddenly, the crisis was lifted. They felt like they had been separated from the world for a lifetime. Therefore, most of them went out for a trip to the city or town. It wasn't that they had to do anything, but they just wanted to go out and get some fresh air and relieve the pressure. In the afternoon, Sun Yunxing came to the mountain village. He had lost a lot of weight. Thinner, but more energetic, Wang Yao said with a smile. Well, I've been busy recently. Recently, their family's group had been quite busy. There were many things that needed to be dealt with. Moreover, it was a very troublesome matter that had not been dealt with yet. It was just that a few days ago, he found out that something big had happened to Wang Yao and that a terrible infectious disease had broken out. A few days ago, he had also called to ask about it. After hearing that the martial law had been relaxed, he specially came to take a look. Take care of your health even if you're busy, Wang Yao said. Sun Yunxing didn't have a good rest, which he could see at a glance. Okay, Sun Yunxing replied. Drink some tea. The cup of tea was very fragrant. After coming to this mountain village and meeting this gentleman, Sun Yunxing felt his heart calm down at once. He put aside those troublesome things in the company for the time being. He just drank a cup of tea and chatted with Sun Yunxing without any pressure. Good, really good. I really envy you, Mr. Wang, he exclaimed. The life we want is different, Wang Yao said with a smile. Some people wanted to live a colorful and extravagant life. Some people wanted to live a quiet and peaceful life. Their pursuits were different, so the way of life and the pressure were naturally different. If there is anything you need my help with, don't be shy, Wang Yao said. Okay. Sun Yunxing hurriedly nodded. This was a promise. After such a period of contact, he knew the person in front of him was a man of his word. Sun Yunxing didn't leave until it was close to evening. He even didn't want to leave. He wanted to stay for a few more days. By the way, Mr. Wang, the building in Lianshan County has been completed, Sun Yunxing said before leaving. Oh, I see, Wang Yao said with a smile. After this storm, there are not many people left in this village, right? Yes. During the conversation just now, Wang Yao could hear that Sun Yunxing said that the old houses were of no use to him and could be handed over to him to deal with. Wang Yao just smiled. What could he use these houses for? To live, one house was enough. It was impossible for the house to appreciate. He didn't care much about the money. Thank you, but I don't think I need it. This was Wang Yao's answer at that time. Sigh. As soon as he got in the car and came out of the mountain village, Sun Yunxing felt that the pressure that had just been put aside reappeared and pressed on his shoulders. The road ahead of him had to continue. During dinner at home in the evening, Zhang Xiuying also mentioned the building in the town. I heard that the building in the town has been built? It has been built. Sun Yunxing came over this afternoon and has started to hand it over, Wang Yao said. I went out today and heard a lot of people talk about it. Someone has already gone to handle the formalities. They can't wait, Wang Yao said. If it hadn't been a while ago, the people in the village might not have been so anxious. Yes. Let's go. It was very quiet on Nanshan Hill at night. Suddenly, the chicks started to chirp uneasily. San Xian heard it and got up from his nest. He walked to the chicks and barked in a low voice as if he was comforting the chicks and telling them not to be afraid. In one night, this kind of loving dog had woken up from its warm and comfortable nest several times. The next day, the temperature dropped by more than 10 degrees. It was very cold when the wind blew. The cold in spring was even more unbearable than the cold in winter because there was no process. It suddenly became cold. A car was speeding on the road. Professor, please take a rest first. I'll tell you when we arrive at the destination, a man in his 30s said. No need. Professor Wu lay on the back seat and looked out the window. After receiving the phone call the day before, he had been thinking about what the other party had said. It sounded incredible. He put down his work yesterday and rushed here as fast as he could. I'm a little tired. The car was running smoothly. The assistant sitting in the passenger seat didn't say anything. Professor Wu just looked out the window. The trees are green, and the flowers are beginning to bloom. There is still a lot of work to be done. Yes. He sighed softly. The car drove into the mountain village. Has the martial law been lifted? The car stopped outside the clinic. Wait here, Professor Wu said. Okay, Professor Wu. Professor Wu got out of the car with 2 boxes in his hands. They were gifts he had brought from Jing as a token of his appreciation. Who is Professor Wu meeting this time? He actually brought gifts from so far away. Go back and have a good rest. It's okay. Oh, okay. Thank you, Yao, Professor Wu said. Take care. After seeing off an old man in the village, Wang Yao saw an acquaintance. You came so quickly. Please come in. Phew, as soon as I received your call, I wish I had wings to fly over, Professor Wu said with a smile. Have some tea. Thank you. He felt that the tea in Wang Yao's clinic was different from the tea in other places. It was particularly fragrant, which made him a little addicted even though he usually didn't like tea. This tea is excellent, Professor Wu praised. I planted it myself and asked an expert to fry it, Wang Yao said with a smile. They drank a cup of tea and chatted for a while. Then, they got to the point. These are the insects. Wang Yao took out the cans he had prepared in advance. They contained the insects he had collected. These are the insects? Professor Wu took a closer look. Yes. He studied Western medicine, and the biology he studied was also related to microbiology. Naturally, he didn't know much about this insect, but it didn't mean that others didn't know about it. Among the people he knew, there were more than one such expert. Can I take it with me? Of course. I have another little guy here. As Wang Yao spoke, he took out another bottle containing the little mouse. It was still alive. It was amazing how tenacious it was. The mouse and the insects together? Professor Wu asked. Yes. To be honest, I was very surprised when I first saw it, Professor Wu said. Well, can you go to the mountain again to have a look? Of course. Chapter 602. He drank all the tea in the cup. The fragrance lingered in his mouth. Good tea. He sighed. The two of them left the clinic and went up to Shishan Hill. After what happened last time, the villagers must be worried, right? Professor Wu asked on the way up the hill. Yes, many people can't wait to move out, Wang Yao said. This mountain village is very good, Professor Wu said. It was very peaceful. After coming in and staying for a while, his heart calmed down a lot. What about you? Professor Wu asked. Of course I'll stay here, Wang Yao said. The two of them arrived at the first pit on Shishan Hill. It was the place where they came last time. There were several exploration pits inside, all of which were dug by Wang Yao. Let's go down and have a look, Professor Wu said. Okay, Professor Wu said. The two of them went down the pit and saw a rat hole in the pit. There was a dead rat inside. What's this? Professor Wu asked. Oh, I put some rat poison in it. It seems to be working, Wang Yao said with a smile. I hope it's just a coincidence, Professor Wu said. He clearly knew the horror of this kind of creature. Their reproductive ability was very strong, and their survival ability was also very strong. They were also very active. They ran around in this mountain village. If a mouse carrying a terrible virus ran around, it would be an extremely terrible thing. Then they went to several other places and finally came to the broken and scorched rock. The rock and soil were all black because of the fire, but they could still vaguely see something. I know about microorganisms, but I'm really not good at insects. He squatted down and looked carefully. He took several photos. That guy should be interested. After walking around carefully and taking a lot of photos, the two of them went down the mountain. Are you busy, Professor Wu? I've been quite busy recently, Professor Wu said. Why don't you stay for lunch? Wang Yao said. Okay, Professor Wu said. They went to eat in the restaurant next to the village. In the past, it was not said to be full of customers, but there were definitely a lot of people eating there. Today, however, it was empty. There was no one. Hey, Dr. Wang, come in, come in. Seeing that there was a customer, a regular, the boss almost trotted out of the room. That kind of excitement. What's wrong? There are usually a lot of people here. Hey, it's all because of that disease, the boss said. It's said that there's an infectious disease in your village, and more than a dozen people have died. My restaurant is so close, so who dares to eat here? I've only had 2 tables of customers in the past 4 days. If this continues, I'm going to close down. Same as usual. A few dishes and a pot of wine. Okay, wait a moment. They were the only customers in this restaurant, so the dishes were served very quickly. The dishes were all mountain delicacies and river delicacies. Professor Wu, don't be fooled by the small size of this restaurant. The food is delicious. Try it. Alright. Originally, Wang Yao wanted to call his driver and assistant as well, but his assistant refused. The man thought that his teacher must have something to talk about with this guy who looked younger than him. Well, it's really good, Professor Wu said after he tasted the food. Not bad, Professor Wu said. Drink some. Drink some. The old man and the young man chatted happily while eating and drinking. Have you ever thought about going to other places to develop your career? Professor Wu asked after a few rounds of wine. I like this kind of life. A place like Beijing is not suitable for me, Wang Yao said with a smile. Beijing was prosperous, but it was too complicated, and the air was not good. In fact, many people who worked and lived in Beijing often said that they often felt out of breath in Beijing. It was not only because of the air pollution, but also because of the pressure of life. Think about it. A house cost millions. Even if you paid half of it for a down payment, you still had to pay a mortgage of millions. What was the average income of the people in Beijing? In first-tier cities like Beijing, Shanghai, and Guangzhou, the pressure on ordinary working-class people to live there was indeed great. I don't dare to say that you have too much knowledge, But you should be more than qualified to be a university lecturer, Professor Wu said with a smile. Me? Haha. Forget it. Wang Yao waved his hand with a smile. If Wang Yao was willing to teach, there would be people who would take the initiative to come and learn. Some people who knew him would want to learn medicine and kung fu from him. After drinking 2 glasses of wine, Professor Wu's face was slightly red. Normally, he rarely drank with others. After drinking, he took the box that Wang Yao had carefully sealed and went on his way back to Jing City. Have a safe trip. Thank you. Remember to tell me when you come to Beijing, Professor Wu said with a smile. Sure, Wang Yao said. Professor Wu, if you feel uncomfortable, remember to tell me, Wang Yao said to the young man who came with him before he left. They went to Shishan Mountain this time, but they did not wear any protective gear. Under such circumstances, he was fine. However, it was hard to say if Professor Wu was fine. He might be infected. Okay, sure, the young man said. He had been with Professor Wu for a while. He knew Professor Wu's character. Professor Wu rarely drank, and even if he did, he drank very little. Today, he should have drunk a little too much. Normally, only people who were close to him and could talk to him would drink like this. After seeing them off, Wang Yao went back to the clinic alone. In the afternoon, a patient came in. It was a man in his 40s. He was thin and looked haggard. He spoke weakly. Hey, Dr. Wang, the curfew here is finally lifted, the man said. He had come to the clinic twice, but each time he came, he was met with curfew. Sorry, what's wrong with you? Wang Yao asked. I don't want to eat. I feel sick after eating a little, the man said. You don't want to eat? You don't want to eat anything or just a few kinds of food? Wang Yao asked. I don't want to eat anything, the man said. Come, let me take a look at you, Wang Yao said. Looking at his complexion, Wang Yao found that his qi and blood were not strong. He was not in good spirit. Judging from his complexion, there was not much odor in his body. It was just that his breath was slightly hot. After checking the man's pulse, Wang Yao was slightly surprised. Your body is still quite healthy, Wang Yao said with a smile. Judging from the man's pulse, other than his weak constitution and insufficient qi and blood, there were no other major problems. Really? But why do I not want to eat? The man asked. This should be anorexia, Wang Yao said. When did you start to have this feeling? The man asked. Well, about a month ago, the man said. Is there a trigger? Is it the cause of this illness? Wang Yao asked. Oh, it's like this, the man said. About a month ago, my wife had just steamed a steamed bun. When I was eating, I ate a strand of hair from the steamed bun. At that time, I felt very disgusted and almost vomited. A few days later, my wife made a meatball. When I ate a strand of hair. Then, I directly vomited. After that, I didn't eat much for 3 days. I felt disgusted no matter what I ate, the man said. After more than 10 days, I felt a little better, the man said. Then, I went out to drink. I ate a pig's intestine. I always felt that there was a smell of pig manure, so I vomited. As the man spoke, his face suddenly changed. It seemed that he was about to vomit. It was the first time Wang Yao had encountered such a condition. It was actually a kind of disease that leaned towards the mind. What about when you are hungry? Wang Yao asked. I am hungry, but I just don't want to eat, the man said. In this situation, I just have to eat something every day. It has to be my favorite food on a daily basis, the man said. This is really a bit troublesome, Wang Yao thought. For a while, Wang Yao really couldn't think of a very suitable solution. How about this? You leave your contact number first, Wang Yao said. I will call you when I think of a suitable treatment. Of course, I suggest you go to a bigger hospital. Maybe they have a lot of methods. Oh, okay. The man left after leaving his phone number. Anorexia? Such a disease occasionally appeared in some movies and novels. It had also appeared on the news. People with this disease didn't want to eat or drink. Their bodies were extremely thin. In extreme cases, they even needed to use injections to maintain the normal functioning of the body. Chapter 603. For example, Carpenter, a very famous singer in the United States, died of anorexia nervosa at the age of 32, which was a pity. Wang Yao had read about such a disease in Treatise on Miscellaneous Diseases, but it was not so serious. It was recorded in the medical book that a man vomited when he smelled fish, which caused anorexia. The treatment method was to not eat fish for several months. With the help of medicine to stimulate the appetite and aid digestion, the man finally recovered. However, he still ate less fish. The man's body was extremely sensitive to fish and other foods. However, this man did not want to eat anything. If he doesn't want to eat anything, then I won't. Wang Yao's eyes lit up. The so-called food was the most important thing. I forgot to ask. Will people feel discomfort and anorexia when they smell the tempting aroma alone? Wang Yao said. Medicine to stimulate the appetite and aid digestion? He thought for a while. There were a few herbs that could be considered as ingredient. He listed them roughly. When it was close to evening, he returned home. There was a guest at home. It was Wang Yao's uncle. Uncle Yao, you're done with your work? Yes. Did many people come to see the doctor? Not many, Wang Yao said. After chatting for a while during dinner, they got to the point. Wang Yao knew the purpose of his uncle's visit. His uncle wanted to move to a bigger house. He did not know where he heard about the things in the village. He also knew some of his relationship with Sun Yunxing, so he came to see him. The location is good. It's close to the school. You can ask for a cheaper price. Okay, I got it, Wang Yao said. It was indeed simple. If his uncle asked, he could even give him a building. I'll call you when the time comes. Okay. After dinner, Wang Yao's uncle stayed at his house for a while and then left. Drive safe. Before leaving, Zhang Xiuying did not forget to remind him. She also gave him 2 boxes of gifts from Wang Yao's friends and patients. Hey, you can go back. I'll make a trip into the city tomorrow. Alright. There was no need to trouble Sun Yunxing with this matter. Before Sun Yunxing left, he had already arranged for people here and told Wang Yao how to contact him. A house was a big deal everywhere. The next morning, Wang Yao drove to Lianshan County early in the morning. Sure enough, the whole building had been built, and some residents had already started decorating it. Wang Yao even met a few people from the village. Yao is here. Uncle, what are you doing? Renovation. Is the procedure done? It's done. The people here are quite efficient, the middle-aged man said with a smile. Oh, then I'll leave you to it. Okay, come to my house when it's ready, Wang Yao said. All right. Along the way, Wang Yao met more than one acquaintance. The building was finished, and the main road in the community had also been hardened. Only some greenery and some sidewalks were being paved, but these things did not affect the normal people's lives. Wang Yao found the person he had met once. Hello, Mr. Wang. The person had a very deep impression of Wang Yao. After all, this was the person who had told him to agree to any request before leaving. Even if Wang Yao asked for a building, he had to find a way to satisfy him. Hello, I'm here to trouble you again. Go ahead. The person hurriedly invited Wang Yao into his office and made him a cup of the best tea, the kind that he was not willing to drink on normal days. That's it? The man was stunned after hearing Wang Yao's request. Yes, sorry to trouble you. After coming back to his senses, he hurriedly replied, No trouble at all. This matter was too simple for him. It was just a matter of buying a house with a discount. It was not a big deal. You don't have to come in person for such a thing. The person smiled and said, Just give me a call. Here is my business card. Although he knew that Wang Yao had his phone number, he still handed his business card to him. Okay, thank you. You are welcome. Wang Yao's politeness made the person a little uncomfortable. This matter was considered to be done. After that, Wang Yao went to Wang Mingbao's place. Hey, why are you willing to leave your clinic? Wang Mingbao asked with a smile. I have a small matter here, so I came to see you on the way, Wang Yao replied with a smile. Have some tea. Thank you. I just came from the community and met several people from the village. Yes, a lot of people have come to buy decoration materials from me recently, Wang Mingbao said. He opened his shop to do decoration. They were frightened and couldn't wait. They came to buy things. Since they were from the same village, they naturally had to talk. The villagers often talked about their worries to Wang Mingbao, and they also complained a lot. Some people wanted to exchange one house for two. There were always some people who were greedy. What about you? Didn't you want one house? Not only could this house be exchanged, but the villagers could also buy it at a discounted price. Moreover, Wang Yao's relationship with the Sun family was not ordinary. No, I don't want it. I won't live there even if I want it, Wang Yao said. He already had a house in Lianshan County, but he had basically never lived there. Are you in a hurry to go back at noon? No hurry. Then, let's have lunch together. Okay. At noon, Wang Mingbao invited several friends to have lunch together. During the meal, they all asked Wang Yao about what had happened in the village. In Jing, thousands of miles away in a laboratory, several people were observing something attentively. How is it? Professor Wu asked. These insects do have that kind of deadly bacteria in them, a slightly fat man in his 50s with glasses said. They really do. Where did you find these insects? What's wrong? Professor Wu asked. This is a variant of the mole cricket. So far, I haven't seen any records about it, the man said. An insect that has never been seen before? Maybe it exists in other places, but it has never appeared in any record. Where did you find it? It wasn't me. It was another person. It was in a stone. A stone. Yes, these insects live in a big stone. They have hollowed out the whole stone. There are holes everywhere. It's densely packed like a beehive. Hiss. The man frowned. Mole crickets are earth-dwelling creatures. I know they can dig up soil, but I don't think it's possible for them to dig up rocks, the man said. Besides these mole crickets, have you found anything else? Rats, a nest of rats and insects. That's even stranger. I know rats may eat mole crickets, but it's absolutely impossible for them to live together. It's hard to explain. You can study this slowly. First, tell me where the toxins in their bodies come from. I'm not sure. It should be a mutation. Also, do these mole crickets eat meat? Professor Wu asked. No, they eat plants for food, the man said. These insects eat meat, the man said. What? Get me a piece of meat, the man said. Soon, a piece of meat was brought over. He threw it into the glass bottle. The insects swarmed over and started to eat. They really eat it. The man was shocked. Are you sure you're not mistaken? Are you doubting me? Professor Lin, you have a phone call, the man said. Wait for me here. Don't leave at noon. Have a drink with me, the man said. Professor Lin went out to answer the phone. Professor Wu was left alone in the glass bottle. The insects were eating the meat crazily. It was as if they had been hungry for days. Mole crickets. There were pathogens in both insects and rat. It was a serious problem. Not long after, his friend came back. Let's go to my office, the man said. Okay, Professor Wu said. They moved to another place. There were only the two of them. Your performance last time was very good. The higher-ups praised you a lot, Professor Lin said with a smile. He was happy for his old friend. I don't do things for them to see, Professor Wu said. You're still so hot-tempered. Professor Lin knew his old temper very well. Do you want to do something this year? What's there to do? I want to find out why these mole crickets mutated and where the pathogens came from, Professor Wu said. Chapter 604. You only know how to work. Professor Lin shook his head with a smile. This is a rare opportunity, Professor Wu said. You have made a contribution, and the higher-ups are interested in you. The next step is a step up, with better treatment, a better working environment, and more research funds. Even if you don't care about fame and fortune, you have to think about the young people working with you. I heard that they are quite dissatisfied with you. Professor Wu was silent for a moment. Let me think about it. That's right. You have to change your temper. Change what? I think it's quite good, Professor Wu said. In the mountain village, Wang Yao was thinking about the illness of the anorexic man in the clinic. In his opinion, this treatment method was indeed a little unique. He could not see it. He could only smell it. He needed the cooperation of the patient and his family. In addition, he also prepared a medicine that could stimulate the appetite. Yam, hawthorn. These so-called appetizing herbs and foods stimulated people's appetite by stimulating the taste bud. Today, he had achieved the goal of stimulating the appetite. I can't just rely on taking decoctions, Wang Yao thought as he made a note. Otherwise, the taste of the medicine is likely to cause bad consequences. If he is not only anorexic but also doesn't want to drink drinks or soup, it will be troublesome, Wang Yao said. Last time, when he communicated with the man, he learned that the man could drink some liquid food, such as chicken soup, porridge, and so on. Well, that's it. First, just drink soup to stimulate the appetite. When you eat those things, don't let him see. Wang Yao slowly thought about a treatment plan. Several kinds of herbs were prepared. It was very simple. They were just auxiliary. He called the man and asked him and his family to come the next morning to prepare to treat his illness. That day, near evening, when Wang Yao was about to close the door and go home, Wang Ziqing came to the clinic with a limp. There was also a wound on his face. What's wrong? Wang Yao hurriedly opened the door and let him in. When I was riding on the road, the speed was a little bit too fast and I fell, Wang Ziqing said. That's not a light fall, Wang Yao said. Ah, it's all right. Wang Ziqing gritted his teeth. In fact, he was in pain all over at this time. He felt like his bones were falling apart. He had just gotten off work and was in a hurry to come back from the town for dinner. After dinner, he had to go out to work in the evening. In order to hurry up, he rode a little faster on the road. As a result, he fell down at the entrance of the village to avoid a sheep. Let me see. Wang Yao checked him carefully. Fortunately, it didn't hit your bones. How about your head? Does it hurt? Did you wear a helmet when you were riding? I'm wearing it. My head doesn't hurt, but my face hurts, Wang Ziqing said. Fortunately, he was wearing a helmet this time. Otherwise, he would have suffered enough, and his head would have bled. I'll apply some medicine for you. Wang Yao got up and went to get some medicine. These medicines were made when he was on the mountain that day to practice the technique of making pills. They were very effective for external injuries such as bruises. He had also tried them on other patients and the results were good. Bear with it, it might hurt a little. Wang Yao carefully applied medicine to the wounds on his body and hand and bandaged them. Come on, do it well. I'll give you a massage. Wang Ziqing was stunned. I'll help you promote blood circulation and remove blood stasis, so some of the muscle contusions can heal faster, Wang Yao said. His fall wasn't light. Even if his bones weren't injured, some muscle tissue contusions were unavoidable. After he went back, he wouldn't dare to say for a long time. At the very least, a considerable part of his body would hurt badly for half a month. Okay. Bear with it. Wang Yao began to give him a massage with a unique technique. It hurts. When the massage touched his injured position, he could not help but shout. Bear with it for a while, Wang Yao said. His strength was already very light. Okay. Wang Yao then massaged the bruises on his back, legs, and arms. It was so painful that he couldn't stop trembling. If Wang Yao hadn't given him a piece of gauze to bite on in time, he probably would have broken his teeth. He was sweating so much that his clothes were soaked. It was purely because of the pain. It was painful. It was too painful. Well, go back and have a good rest. Don't engage in heavy physical labor for 7 days. Don't work. 7 days? Wang Ziqing shouted directly after hearing it. What's wrong? Well, I can't not work. He was anxious. Her family was in dire need of money, especially her father. Just 1 dose of medicine alone required 10,000 yuan. How could he not be anxious? Right now, he wanted to work as 3 people and earn as much money as he could. To buy medicine for your uncle? Wang Yao said. Yes. In order to buy medicine for your father, he had begun to borrow money from outside. In today's society, other things were easy, but it was difficult to borrow money. Many people turned hostile when it came to money. Take the medicine first. Pay back the money slowly, Wang Yao said. Oh, okay. Wang Ziqing gritted his teeth. After paying for the medicine, he got up and was about to go out. Wait a minute. Wang Yao stopped him. Do you have anything else to say? I'll say a few more words. Don't be unhappy, Wang Yao said. He got up and poured him a glass of water. Drink some tea. Oh, thank you. Wang Ziqing took the tea. He was a little nervous. He didn't know what Wang Yao was going to say to him. Well, money is very important, but health is more important. Wang Ziqing was silent for a moment. Wang Ziqing was stunned. I mean, your current physical condition is suitable for work. If you endure the pain to work these days, it may not be a problem for the time being. But if you get sick from overwork, your body is injured. If you have to work, you will have injuries on top of injuries. It will be a serious illness. It can't be solved by resting for 7 days and spending some money. I know this, Wang Ziqing said. But, you don't know or you don't understand it deeply. Before he finished speaking, Wang Yao interrupted him. Forget it. Think about it yourself. Wang Yao wanted to say a few more words, but he stopped when the words came to his mouth. If he were in Wang Ziqing's position, he would probably make the same choice. I'll go back first. Okay. Wang Ziqing limped away. Wang Yilong was waiting for his son at the door. When he saw him come back, he asked, Are you okay? I'm fine. You should go back. It's windy. Wang Ziqing hurried forward. How are you? His wife heard the sound and followed him out. I'm fine. I didn't hurt my bones or my head. I applied some medicine. It's much better. Don't go to work tomorrow. Rest at home, Wang Ziqing's wife said. Let's talk about it tomorrow, Wang Ziqing said. After dinner, Wang Yilong got up and went out. Where are you going, Dad? I'm going out for a walk. Then take your time and come back early, Wang Ziqing said. It's windy outside. Wear more clothes and don't go far. Oh, I know. Wang Yilong waved his hand and slowly walked out. After the old man went out, Wang Ziqing's wife asked, Dad has gone out. Tell me the truth. Is it bad? It's nothing. It's really nothing, Wang Ziqing said. He just wants me to rest at home for 2 more days. Then rest. Don't go out. Let's talk about it tomorrow. He sighed. His family was short of money. In the middle of the village, Wang Yao's family was eating. There was a knock on the door. With a squeak, someone came in. His uncle is here. As soon as they saw the person, Zhang Xiuying and her husband put down their bowls and chopsticks. He's eating. His uncle is in the house, Wang Fenghua said. Wang Yao got up and made a pot of tea. Uncle, have some tea. Thank you. What's the matter with his uncle? Wang Fenghua asked. He's looking for Yao for something, Wang Yilong said. Go ahead, uncle, Wang Yao said. Did Ziqing see you in the afternoon? Yes. Is the injury serious? Tell me the truth, Wang Yilong said. It turned out to be this matter, Wang Yao said. It's not a big problem, Wang Yao said. It's just trauma and muscle tissue contusion. The bones and internal organs are not hurt. The head is not hurt. He needs to rest for a few days. Chapter 605. Ah, that's good. Wang Yilong breathed a sigh of relief. He found that his son had been very busy recently. He went to work during the day and went out to work at night. When he came back, he was very tired and didn't talk much. After dinner, he accompanied him and said a few words, then went to bed early. His heart ached for him, but he didn't say much. His son was sensible. Compared with before, he was like a different person. It was a good thing. He was happy from the bottom of his heart, but he didn't want his son to be so tired. If it went on for a long time, what would he do if his son was tired? Well, how many days does he have to rest at home? My suggestion is that he needs to rest for at least 7 days, Wang Yao said. Otherwise, it may leave a root cause of illness. Will it leave a root cause of illness? Wang Yilong was a little nervous. As long as he can rest and go to the clinic every other day, I'll see him. There will be no problem, Wang Yao said. You don't have to worry too much. Oh, that's good. Uncle, how have you been feeling recently? Wang Yao asked. Very good, Wang Yao said. I'm eating more than before. Is that so? That's good. It was indeed a good thing to be able to eat. Generally speaking, people who were seriously ill often had a common characteristic, which was that they couldn't eat. Sorry to disturb your meal. It's fine. Uncle, do you want to eat with us? No, I've already eaten, Wang Yilong said. Then, he got up and left. What happened to Zicheng? Zhang Xiuying asked after he left. He fell on his bike when he came back. Is it serious? As I just said, it's not particularly serious, Wang Yao said. Well, I think Yilong's health is not bad, Wang Fenghua said. The couple knew about his real illness. His complexion looks good, Wang Yao said. He didn't look carefully, but through his breathing, he could smell a rancid smell. It meant that the problem in his body was still very big. After all, it was that kind of disease, and it was in the late stage. Yilong hasn't enjoyed much fortune in his life. I didn't expect his son to be so sensible at this time. A prodigal son turning over a new leaf is more precious than gold, Wang Yao said. Yes, gold unchangeable. After returning, Wang Yilong was relieved. As long as his son was fine, it was better than anything else. The night was quiet. In a courtyard. Cough, cough, cough. When Wan coughed a few times. The martial law has been lifted. Professor Liu was smoking a cigarette. Yeah. Fan Yuan was also smoking. In fact, the martial law had been lifted for a few days. However, Professor Liu repeated it at night. This period of time was the most difficult for them. They couldn't go out, and they were worried about being infected with the pathogenic bacteria that had a high fatality rate. They were slightly worse off, but there was still a seriously ill patient here. At this time, when Wan was like a lamp in the wind and rain, which could be extinguished at any time. If she contracted a serious illness, it would be difficult for even the gods to save her. Shall we go, Professor? Fan Yuan said after thinking for a long time. Go? Where to? Professor Liu looked at the young man. It seemed that he had already known that he would have such an idea. Your mother's illness has just begun to improve. Do you think that if we go to other places they will have a way to do better than Dr. Wang? No, I'm a little worried, Fan Yuan said. During this time, they had been using the medicine provided by Wang Yao for his mother. To their surprise, the medicine was really effective. His mother's illness was really improving. Her complexion had become much better, and her body had begun to become stronger. She could even move on her own. Such an obvious change naturally made him very happy. However, the sudden appearance of the pathogenic bacteria a while ago made him very worried. People died, and more than a dozen of them had died. This kind of thing could not be hidden. He might have seen these people. He might even have chatted with them or talked to them. He was still young. He was worried about his mother's health. He also cared about his own life and health. As the saying went, a gentleman does not stand under a wall. It was not wise to stay here knowing that there was danger. We can leave with the medicine. I'll come back to get it when it's finished, Fan Yuan said. Since he had made such a suggestion, he had already thought of a way to solve the related problems. What if there is an accident? Well, in fact, this was also a problem that he did not have a good solution to at present. He had to admit that Wang Yao's medical skills were indeed excellent. During this period, his mother had obvious physical discomfort in 2 places. Her illness instantly worsened. After going to see him, she was quickly stabilized. The use of medicine, acupuncture, massage, and various other skills made people gasp in amazement. Well, Yuan, if you have something to do, go ahead. I'll stay here with your mother. That's not what I meant, Uncle, Fan Yuan said. I've also asked Dr. Wang about the disease you are worried about. Haven't we already taken the medicine? Let's wait for another 2 days, the young man said. He had been a little irritable recently. It was much better than when the martial law had just been imposed. The night was quiet. Wang Yao went up Nanshan Hill alone. On Nanshan Hill, it was dim. Almost there, Wang Yao looked at the system panel in front of him. His experience bar had increased considerably. When he first discovered this, he was really surprised. During this period, he had not completed any obvious tasks, nor had he seen too many patients. However, the experience bar had increased rapidly. After asking the system, he learned that it was because he had successfully developed a drug that could cure that terrible disease. This was a special reward. This was indeed a situation that had never happened before. I wonder what kind of reward will be after this upgrade. The next morning, the anorexic man came very early, before 8:30. When he arrived, Wang Yao was still on Nanshan Hill. He waited downstairs. There was a woman accompanying him. It was his wife. Is he not here? He will be back soon. He called me yesterday and asked me to come over. They waited for about 20 minutes. Wang Yao came down from Nanshan Hill. You came early? Not long. Sorry. He opened the door of the clinic and invited the couple in. You still don't like to eat? I still don't like to eat. I can only eat some liquid food and drink some soup. Well, I'll tell you my treatment plan. Afterward, Wang Yao carefully explained the treatment plan he had prepared to the couple. How is it? Is there any problem? This is worth a try, the man replied. It was true that he did not like to eat, but he did not have such a treatment plan for liquid food and fruit juice drink. Well, let's try this method, he said to the woman. Pay attention. There must be no filaments in the liquid food. This must be guaranteed. The cause of the man's anorexia was his hair. He must have a considerable degree of sensitivity to filaments, so this must be paid attention to avoid aggravating the condition. Okay, I will remember, the woman said. In fact, during this period, she had been worried about her husband's strange disease. All of a sudden, he didn't want to eat anything. This made the whole family very worried. Humans were made of iron and rice was made of steel. If he didn't eat a meal, he would be hungry. When it was serious, he wouldn't eat much for 3 days. If this continued, he would definitely get sick from hunger. This is the medicine I prescribed. It's all food, Wang Yao said. Don't worry about this illness. Take it slowly. Oh, okay. Thank you, Dr. Wang, the man said. You're welcome. Relax. Don't think about those things when you eat. Okay, I will try my best, the man said with a smile. His body was quite thin now. He was so thin that a gust of wind could blow him away. The couple left. Professor Liu followed them in. Hello, Dr. Wang. Hello, didn't you sleep well last night? Well, I didn't sleep very well. Professor Liu had been in the mountain village for more than a month. He had wanted to leave and go back some time ago, but it happened to be martial law. This delay had been long. He had been away for more than a month. What would his family think? Even a harmonious father would inevitably have a grudge. I want to ask, how is Xiaowan's illness? She is recovering well, Wang Yao said. He used the diluted connection ointment, which was very effective. Chapter 606. That's good, Professor Lu said. Do you have anything else to do? Wang Yao said. Yes, I have to go back home, Wang Yao said. He had been away for more than a month. It was extremely irresponsible to leave his home and help someone who used to be his lover. What about the mother and son? Are they going back too? Wang Yao said. Can they go back in their current condition? You have asked this question more than once, and I have said it more than once, Wang Yao said with a smile. I don't recommend them to go back. Although his condition was improving, it could deteriorate at any time. In the mountain village, as long as he was still breathing, he could save him. If he went back to a place thousands of miles away, it would be hard to say. Moreover, it was a journey of thousands of miles. It was extremely disadvantageous for the patient to travel back and forth. They want to go back? Yes, the young people want to go back. That's understandable, Wang Yao said with a smile. After all, it was a mountain village. In fact, in addition to the tranquility and fresh air, it was incomparable to the bustling metropolises. Maybe people like Wang Yao would like it here, but for most of the young people, it was too boring. There were no places for leisure and entertainment. It was okay to go up the mountain once or twice, but it was enough to go up the mountain every day. It was the same for fishing. Other than that, what else could there be? There was nothing. I'll go back for a while and come back again. Wang Yao smiled and did not say anything. It was their business, so it was not convenient for him to say more. Dr. Wang, the terrible disease from a few days ago won't break out again, right? It's hard to say, Wang Yao said. The treatment of the disease had been found, and the root cause had been found. However, how to prevent it was a problem. Now, no one was sure where the underground rats were, how many there were, and whether they all carried the pathogenic bacteria. One rat was a bomb. It was hard to say when it would explode. As long as I am here, it will be fine even if I get sick, Wang Yao said. In fact, the county hospital could treat the disease now. It was best to treat it in the early stage of the disease. I'll talk to him when I get back, said Professor Lu. After chatting for a while, Professor Lu also left. He was a contradictory person. This was Wang Yao's evaluation of him. He had his own family, but he had sacrificed so much for his former lover. Whether it was worth it or not was another matter. The key was that this could be seen as a betrayal to his own family. Did his children know? Did his wife know? Did his parents know? He probably didn't know, and he wouldn't say anything. Forget it. What's the point of thinking so much? Wang Yao shook his head. Other than Professor Lu, the other person who came to the clinic was Wang Ziqing. Can I trouble you to take another look? No problem. How do you feel? My body hurts. It hurt so much last night that I didn't sleep well, Wang Ziqing said. When he first fell, some parts of his body hurt. But after returning home from Wang Yao's place, he started to feel pain in places that didn't hurt. He really didn't sleep well the whole night. Let me see. Wang Yao examined him carefully. This is normal. Is it? Is it numb from the fall? Wang Ziqing asked. I feel better after your massage. You can think of it that way, Wang Yao said. When he woke up this morning, he was prepared to go to work, but his whole body hurt badly. Not to mention working, even moving and walking hurt all over. In this situation, he couldn't work at all. Helplessly, he asked for leave and rested at home. He hoped to get better soon, but there was no obvious change in the morning. He came to Wang Yao's place in the afternoon. I'll give you another massage. Oh, okay. It hurts. Wang Ziqing said. This afternoon, it hurt more than when he fell yesterday. Just bear with it. Wang Yao's movements didn't stop at all because of Wang Ziqing's cries of pain. He still carried out the massage slowly and steadily. Do you have any way to make me better earlier? Wang Ziqing asked in a low voice. What's wrong? Do you want to work to make money again? Yes. I told you not to pay for the medicine for the time being. When you have the money, you can give it to me, Wang Yao said. Medicine costs money. Meals also cost money. Wang Ziqing said. I can't just sit around and eat. He really didn't have much money in his hands now, so he was flustered and anxious to go to work. If he lay at home for another week, it would be terrible. Wang Yao was silent after listening. The special medicine he prescribed was indeed a heavy burden for ordinary families. No, they couldn't even afford it. He had considered these things for a long time. He practiced medicine to help the world. It was easy to say. Even Bodhisattva needed incense money. I'll try my best, Wang Yao said after a moment of silence. Okay, thank you. Wang Ziqing was in so much pain that he didn't even have much strength to speak. After sending Wang Ziqing away, Wang Yao received a call from Professor Wu in Beijing. It was the test results of the samples he had brought with him. In fact, Professor Wu and Professor Wu had talked on the phone earlier. Professor Wu had called Wang Yao and told him about the situation after the initial confirmation that the insects carried the terrible pathogen. The test results have come out. I have sent you an electronic version. If you have any questions, you can call me at any time, Professor Wu said. Okay, thank you. No, I should be the one thanking you, Professor Wu said on the other end of the phone. Oh. Wang Yao was surprised. Because of the biological samples you provided, and because of your help, the crisis was quickly resolved. My position here has been improved to a certain extent. My working environment, benefits, and a series of other things have all improved significantly. I have to thank you for this. If that's the case, congratulations. When you come to Beijing, you must let me know. If you need my help, please tell me. Okay. After hanging up the phone, Wang Yao opened his computer mailbox. There was an unread email. The attachment contained a detailed report of the insects and the mouse. They even gave the mouse a full body examination, including blood, internal organs, and so on. Of course, they dissected it in the end. It was very detailed. Wang Yao read it carefully and seriously. According to the content of the report, they determined that 70% of the insects carried the terrible pathogen, but the remaining 30% did not. The mouse also carried the pathogen, which was a bit interesting. Wang Yao had seen what the insects looked like. They were like bees. They must have contact with each other, but why did some of them carry the pathogen and some not? What was more interesting was the mouse. The mouse carried the pathogen, but its body was found to have antibodies in its blood. Yes, antibodies which could resist the pathogen. In other words, the mouse was the source of the infection, but it did not get sick. In addition to the pathogen, they also found an unknown toxin in the insects' bodies. This toxin was excreted through the excrement after eating. This toxin was very toxic. A very small amount could kill a white mouse. This toxin was the same as the one in the soil provided by Wang Yao. The toxin in the insects' bodies made the soil barren. Then there was another problem. He dug a few exploratory pits, but he did not find any signs of insects. Did I dig in the wrong place? Wang Yao thought. As for why the insects and mice lived in harmony, this strange relationship also made Professor Lin very interested. He judged that the insects and mice had a symbiotic relationship. The toxin-carrying excrement was most likely brought out by the mice. Through the experiment, they also determined that the mouse had a strong resistance to the toxins in the excrement of the insects. Chapter 607. However, not all mice had such characteristics. This was also their speculation because they had conducted experiments in the past few days. All the mice that came into contact with these insects had problems. They were quickly infected with the pathogenic bacteria and died. Therefore, the mouse should be an exception. It could only become like that under some very coincidental conditions. In other words, even if there were such mice, the number was extremely small. Seeing this, Wang Yao was slightly relieved. As long as it was not universal, it was good. In these reports, the possibility of the pathogenic bacteria was still not clear. They only proposed a few possibilities. The biggest possibility was that the mutation was caused by external stimuli. Mutation? What kind of stimuli? In addition to this report, there was another letter from Professor Lin. The letter said that he might go to the mountain village to see the actual situation. He hoped that Wang Yao could provide help. Lin Chongfeng, entomologist. It was the first time that Wang Yao had met such a person with such a title. "You're welcome," Wang Yao replied. Since he came from afar, he was a guest. However, before that, Wang Yao was going to go to Shishan again. He always felt that he might have missed something last time. This time, he was going to turn those places upside down. On this day, the wind suddenly blew near the evening. The wind was very strong and whistling. More and more people in the village are moving to the city to build houses. While eating, Zhang Xiuying mentioned this matter again. "I'll go. Are you going too?" Wang Fenghua asked. "No, it's just that a few people who get along well with me are moving to the city. I can't accept it for a while," Zhang Xiuying said. "I don't want to have no one to chat with in the future." People were social animals. They needed to communicate and contact with the outside world. It was easy to get sick if a person was bored at home. Especially in a society like today, in the information age, there were very few real hermits. Young people, how many of them could endure loneliness? "If you really feel bored and want to go to the city, let me know," Wang Yao said. "I'm just saying. It's not as convenient to live upstairs in the city as in the village," Zhang Xiuying said. "Your sister's wedding date has been set." "When?" "October 1st. It was still early. There were still more than 5 months left." "I understand." His sister's wedding was a big deal. In the howling wind, Wang Yao went out of the door and went up the mountain. The wind was ridiculously strong. If it was an ordinary person, it would be difficult to walk in this wind. However, Wang Yao was different. When the wind was 3 feet away from his body, it was as if it had hit an invisible barrier. It was separated to 2 sides and then blew past him. Wang Yao walked slowly in the village, towards the south, towards the mountain. In the village, at this hour, if there were people in the house, the lights would be on. When they reached the south end of the village, Wang Yao turned around to look. Sure enough, there were fewer people than usual. These people must have gone to Lianshan County. Recently, there had been a lot of changes in the mountain village, especially because of the terrible disease. If one's heart wasn't here, they would leave sooner or later. After a while, the lights on Nanshan Hill were on. Wang Yao recited a volume of Taoist scriptures. The sound of the scriptures went out of the cottage, into the herbal field, and into the woods. The dog quietly lay in its nest, listening with its ears up. The goshawk on the treetops, even at night, still had its eyes bright. Swish, swish, swish. The black snake came under the eaves and coiled into a plate. It seemed to be listening to the sound of the scriptures as well. It was not until about 11 o'clock at night that the lights went out. In the morning of the next day, the wind had stopped. Professor Liu, Wenwan, and her son came to the clinic. Wenwan's condition was much better than the last time she came here. The change in her complexion was the most obvious. There was some color on her face. It was not as frighteningly white as when she first came to the village. There was no color at all. Moreover, there was some light in her eyes. "Sorry to trouble you again." "Not at all. Please sit down." "How do you feel?" "Much better, but my body is still weak and cold," Wenwan said. Don't worry. These can't be completely improved or eliminated in a short time. How about eating? How much can you eat? I don't dare to eat a bowl of porridge too much. If I eat too much, I will feel bloated, Wenwan said. How long can you say you slept? I've been sleeping well for the past few days. About 7 to 8 hours a day, intermittent, Wenwan said. When she first came to the clinic, she felt very sleepy. However, because of various physical discomforts, she couldn't sleep. It was very torturous. In the past few days, this situation had improved a lot. She could sleep. Being able to eat and sleep was the most basic thing in life. If these two things couldn't be guaranteed, the person's body was not far from collapse. In addition to physical pain and nausea, do you have any other discomforts? Sometimes my stomach bloat. Recently, I have had some diarrhea, Wenwan said. This is related to the medicine you have been taking recently. The medicine is toxic. It stimulates the stomach and causes diarrhea, Wang Yao said. In fact, when he concocted the medicine for Wenwan, he had tried his best to choose mild medicines. Even if there were stimulating medicines, he would choose other medicines to adjust the efficacy. If these medicines were given to ordinary people, even those with slightly weaker health would not have a problem. However, her current situation was that her body was too weak. Even the slightest external stimulation would cause a strong reaction in her body. Come on, let me check your pulse. Her pulse had become much stronger, which was also a good sign. Your condition is improving, but you are not out of danger yet. Ah, I can feel it, Wenwan said. Wenwan said. Although her body still had various discomforts, it was indeed much better than when she first started. It was beyond her expectations. Take off your coat and lie down. Wang Yao first gave her acupuncture, the 8 extraordinary meridians and various acupoints. This time, Wang Yao gave her a lot of acupuncture. To stimulate her qi and blood, gentle stimulation could not be too intense. The internal organs needed to be adjusted, especially the stomach. As for the most fragile kidney, it was like being riddled with holes at this time. It needed to be repaired step by step. It could not be rushed. Wang Yao relied on the magical efficacy of the intermittent ointment, which could repair defects. After the acupuncture, Wang Yao gave her a massage. Slowly, Wenwan fell asleep again. Don't disturb her. Let her know who can do it. Professor Lu gently put on a coat for her, afraid that she would catch a cold. Wang Yao turned on the air conditioner. The hot wind was a little dry. This kind of wind was actually uncomfortable on the body. It was not as gentle as the radiant heat of the heater. I'm going to leave tomorrow, Professor Lu said softly. Professor Lu said softly, the mother and son will continue to stay here for treatment. I'll have to trouble you then. After talking with Professor Lu, Fan Yuan also dispelled the idea of leaving here and taking his mother back. He decided to stay here until his mother's health was completely improved and she was ready to leave. Okay. The three of them sat in the room and occasionally whispered a few words. Wenwan slept very comfortably and for a long time. It was past 12 o'clock. She slept for nearly 2 hours. Sorry, I fell asleep again. It's okay. Did you sleep well? Very well. I also had a good dream, Wenwan said with a smile. She dreamed that she had returned to her youth. In the wild, it was also spring. She was flying a kite. Next to her was a young man. She could vaguely see his face. The wind was flying in the sky. It was very, very high. They were very happy. That's good. It was almost 1 o'clock when the three of them left. Wang Yao went home to eat something. He then went out of the house and went straight to Shishan Mountain. Yao, where are you going? Some villagers he met on the way asked him. Up the mountain. Be careful. Oh, I know. Thank you, uncle. Since the storm, the people in the village had known that several places on Shishan Mountain were the cause of the terrible disease. If they went close, they might be infected. People could die. They could not go there. Therefore, very few people went to Shishan Mountain. Basically, no one would go there. Soon, Wang Yao arrived at the place. He took out the tools he had prepared in advance and began to get busy. He moved quickly. He pushed from the east to the west. He did not really turn the place upside down. Instead, he dug more holes and made them deeper. Chapter 608. Soon, he had dug more than a dozen holes in the pit. He found mouse holes, but there were no signs of insect. Other than that, he found something else. The excrement of the insects was mixed in the soil in the mouse holes. If one did not look carefully, one would not be able to tell. In fact, even if one was observant and did not know about these things in advance, one would not think in this direction at all. It's really these mice, Wang Yao said. Now, he could basically confirm that Professor Lin's guess was correct. Some of the mice here did have some kind of special relationship with the insects. If it were not for various reasons, Wang Yao would have liked to follow the mouse holes and keep digging. He had dug through all 4 places. There were mouse holes in each place. It was as if these places were connected by a line. Yao, what are you doing? Come out quickly. Wang Yao was busy when he heard someone calling him. He looked in the direction of the voice and found that someone was outside the dead land. It was Wang Fengming from the village. Uncle, why are you here? Wang Yao was very respectful to this honest and considerate elder. I came to take a look because I was afraid that something else would come and be infected. When I saw that the pit was turned upside down, I was very worried. I didn't expect to see you here. Come out quickly. It's very dangerous inside, he said anxiously. Hey! Wang Yao came out of the field. Quickly pat the mud off your body and go back to take a bath, Wang Fengming said. Don't worry, uncle, I'm fine, Wang Yao said. I'm not afraid of this thing. Have you taken the medicine long ago? Yes. Then, don't stay here, Wang Fengming said. Not many people dare to come up this mountain now. I feel strange standing here. Let's go down. Okay. Wang Yao accompanied him down the mountain. What are you looking for there? I'm looking for what is down there and why there is no grass growing in these fields, Wang Yao said. Have you found the reason? Yes. Why? Rats and a special kind of insect. Those insects should have been burned to death by me, but the rats are still alive, Wang Yao said. That's easy, Wang Fengming said. Go back and find some rat poison. Hide here and spread it. All right. If you feel uncomfortable anywhere, go to the hospital as soon as possible. Wang Fengming did not forget to remind her before they parted. I know. You've forgotten that I'm a pharmacist. All right, don't be so rash in the future. Sigh. Wang Yao returned home with the shovel. What are you doing? Digging for treasures, Wang Yao said with a smile. You found it? You don't say. I really did dig it up. After joking with his mother for a bit, Wang Yao entered the house. In fact, there was not much dust on his body. When he was on the mountain, there was an invisible wall of air 3 feet around him. The dust simply could not get close to him. Your sister and brother-in-law will come back tonight, Zhang Xiuying said. Really? In fact, during the period of martial law, Wang Ru was particularly anxious. She called home several times a day. She was worried that something had happened to her family. She even wanted to come back, but she was sternly stopped by Zhang Xiuying and Wang Fenghua. When the martial law was lifted, she had come back. She came back again after a few days. She was still worried about her family. Do you need me to do anything? No, I've bought everything that needs to be bought. Then I'll help you prepare dinner. No, your father is enough. You can go back to your room and rest. At about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, Du Mingyang drove back. Uncle, Auntie Yao. Come in, come in. You said that every time you come to buy things you're almost a family. You don't have to be so polite, Zhang Xiuying said with a smile. Dad, Mom, are you in good health? With me here, of course, they are in good health, Wang Yao said with a smile. He didn't dare to say that his parents would live a long life, but he could definitely make them healthy. Sit in the room. Xiaoru, come and help me. Okay. The three men sat in the room and drank tea. The tea was good. Wang Fenghua and Du Mingyang both smoked. This was the case before, but this time, Du Mingyang didn't smoke. Why don't you smoke? Wang Fenghua was curious. Oh, I quit. Xiaoru doesn't like the smell of smoke, Du Mingyang said. Haha. Wang Yao just smiled. He was happy for his sister. This also reflected that his brother-in-law still loved his sister very much. The mother and daughter were also busy in the kitchen and chatting. His temper is bad, right? Yes. How does he treat you? Very good, Wang Ru said. Ah, that's good, Zhang Xiuying said with a smile. As parents, they hoped that their children could have a good marriage and be happy. After all, marriage was a matter of life. When are you going to have children? It's up to fate. Okay. The meal was soon ready, and the whole family gathered together, happy and cheerful. That night, Wang Yao also drank a few glasses of wine because he was happy. Are you going up the mountain at night? Yes. I'll take your brother-in-law to have a look tomorrow. Sure, Wang Yao said with a smile. That night, Wang Yao went up the mountain very late. He went to sleep after going up the mountain. The next day, Du Mingyang and Wang Ru didn't go up the mountain because Wang Yao came down. An old friend came to the clinic. Elder Sang, how come you have time to come? The person who came was Sang Guzi. He was accompanied by a man in his 30s. He looked very delicate and had a scholarly aura. I have something to do in Ji, so I came to see you. I heard that a terrible disease broke out not long ago. Is there a martial law? He came for this matter. Well, it's all over now, Wang Yao said. It's good that you are fine. Oh, this is my son, sang Jimin. Oh, hello. Wang Yao was a little surprised. He knew Elder Sang's age. He was in his 70s. This man looked like he was in his 30s. So, he had this son in his 40s. It could be said that he had a son at an old age. Hello, Dr. Wang. I've heard a lot about you, Sang Jimin said. I don't deserve your reputation. Are you in a hurry to leave? No hurry. Then, why don't you stay and have a meal? Okay. The three of them talked in the clinic. Soon, they talked about the disease. After all, they were all practicing medicine. Naturally, they were concerned about this kind of thing, especially Sang Jimin. A microbe that has appeared outside? Yes, a pathogen that has never been recorded. Is the bug a variant of the mole cricket? Yes, I asked someone to find an insect expert in Jing to study it. That's what it looks like. Sang Jimin was like a curious baby. He asked a lot of questions. Does the disease break out very quickly? Soon, the poison will enter the internal organs, and the person will lose consciousness and go crazy. What medicine can cure it? Wang Yao also told him the prescription. There was no need to keep it a secret now. I didn't expect this green foxtail to have such an effect. While they were talking, there was a knock on the door. Please come in. The person who came in was also an acquaintance. What happened today? Wang Yao looked at the person who came in. Wu Tongxing, the Wu family in Jing. Hello, Dr. Wang. You are Elder Sang. Wu Tongxing actually knew Sang Guzi. Hello, Director Wu. Hey, you are too polite. You can call me Tongxing or Wu, Wu Tongxing said. Please sit down and have some tea. Wang Yao poured him a glass of water. What's the matter? Well, it's about my father's illness. Is it not stable? It's stable, but his chest is starting to hurt and he can't sleep well at night, Wu Tongxing said. This is a normal situation. After all, it's that kind of disease, Wang Yao said. Well, come back in 2 days. I'll prescribe you a medicine that can relieve pain. Okay, I won't disturb you. From the beginning to the end, Wu Tongxing stayed for less than 20 minutes. I didn't expect him to come here, Sanguzi said with a smile. Dad, what is the background of Director Wu? He is from the Wu family in Jing. He is now the leader of the National Security Department, Sanguzi said. Chapter 609. Dr. Wang is really good, Sang Jimin said. Even the senior officials in Jing came to see him. I just met him by chance, Wang Yao said. At noon, he drove the father and son to Shaman village. Come in, please. The owner was very happy to see Wang Yao. It was rare to see customers these days. Is there still no customers? No, 2 or 3 tables a day are good, the owner said. I guess it will be like this for a long time. Don't worry, it will get better soon, Wang Yao comforted him. Thank you, the owner said. Same as usual, the owner said. Okay, have some tea first. It's spring tea this year. Try it. He was very polite to Wang Yao, an old customer and an old friend, especially since Wang Yao had helped him a lot and solved his urgent needs. There were very few people eating, so the dishes were served quickly. Come, let's talk while eating. Okay. The dishes were delicacies from the mountains and rivers. They were very fresh. Delicious, Sang Jimin praised. Eat more if it's delicious. Come often when you have time. Come on, I'll drink a cup of tea for you, Wang Yao said. Okay, haha, Sanguzi said. Sanguzi said with a smile. He was very optimistic about this young man. His medical skills were extraordinary, far better than his own. His temperament was also very good. He did not have the arrogance of a young man, which was very rare. He was capable and had no temper. Such a person was very rare. By the way, there is one more thing I need to apologize to you, Sanguzi said. What is it? Wang Yao was a little surprised. Do you still remember the patient I asked you to see in Dali a while ago? Yes. Wang Yao said. He had a deep impression of the patient. He also had heat poisoning, which was quite similar to Su Xiaoxue in Jing. In order to treat that person, he specially prepared 3 decoctions and left them there for them to use at their discretion. At that time, he also decided to contact them after a period of time. However, they did not take the initiative to contact Wang Yao. How is the patient? How is it? There shouldn't be any problems. Otherwise, you would have come to me a long time ago. Sanguzi's tone seemed to be a little angry when he spoke of this matter. There are other stories behind this. Oh! They went to the king pharmacist of Miaojiang, Sanguzi said. Him. Wang Yao was stunned. He had heard of this name before. The word Wang was enough to prove this person's astonishing accomplishments in the field of medicine. Moreover, his name had shaken the southern border for several decades. I've met this medicine king before, so I know some of his rules. He's said to have extraordinary medical skills, but he has a strange temper. When he's in a bad mood, he won't even look at him. I've heard about that too, Wang Yao said. When he was in Dali, he had heard from the Han family that the king of medicine had a strange temper. He's in a mountain village in Nanjiang. There are many people in that village who want to see him. Because of his temper, some people can't even see him after waiting for a month. A month? Won't that delay the treatment of the illness? Wang Yao was surprised. Yes, but the people who go there are willing to wait. They have no choice. Most of the people who go to him for treatment have some difficult and complicated diseases. Ordinary medical treatment can't cure them. They must have gone to a big hospital before going there. There is no good treatment, so they go to him. However, he has a unique rule. Sanguzi took a sip of tea. Wang Yao didn't interrupt him. He just listened quietly. As long as the person who seeks treatment can provide a special medicine that meets his requirements, he can agree to a request of the patient, Sanguzi said. This request is a bit strange, Wang Yao said. It's not strange. It's very strange, Sanguzi said. You have to know that people usually line up with specially made wooden plates to wait for treatment. Moreover, this king of medicine rarely makes house calls. If he is satisfied with the medicine you bring, not only do you not need to wait in line, but you can also receive treatment immediately. Moreover, he can even make house calls, Sanguzi said. Wang Yao had already guessed something. However, he has been famous in Miaojiang for decades. The title of the king of medicine is not undeserved. In the past few decades, he has seen all kinds of medicine. Therefore, there are very few medicines that can meet his eyes. As far as I know, this has only happened once in the past 5 years. The people of the Han family invited him to visit a patient. When I was in Dali, I saw him go to the house of the Han family with my own eyes. The medicine that they used is most likely the medicine that you left behind, Sanguzi said. He had seen and experienced the miracle of Wang Yao's medicine with his own eyes. Zhou Wui and Zhou Wukong were examples. One of them was a dying man, and the other had been suffering from a disease for many years. In his opinion, they were incurable diseases. However, this young man saved them. What did he rely on? It was his medicine. Well, I know, Wang Yao said. Of course, the medicine that he made was miraculous. The 3 sets of medicine left behind for the Han clan all had spirit herbs in them. These spirit herbs were rare or extinct in the world. Moreover, the equipment used to brew them and the water used to brew them were not ordinary. Naturally, the medicine that was produced was miraculous. Being able to catch the eye of the king of medicine was also a reasonable matter. I didn't think about this matter carefully, Sanguzi said. Hey, what is this? Please don't say that again, Wang Yao hurriedly said. He was very respectful towards this old man, this old senior. His medical skills and medical ethics were extraordinary. Moreover, you didn't expect them to be like this at the beginning, right? Hey, I was also anxious, Sanguzi said. Their father once saved my life. Before he died, he looked for me and asked me to be tolerant of his sons. I didn't expect. Hey, I don't want to talk about it anymore. As the saying goes, one can know a person's character but not his heart. Well, let's not talk about this. Come, let's drink. Yes, let's drink, Sang Jimin said. What brings you to Qi province? Something personal, Sanguzi said. If there is anything I can help with, please let me know. Okay, Sanguzi said. This time, he came at the invitation of his old friend to meet and stay for a few days. He was an old man in his 70s. He didn't know how many days he had left. He wanted to meet in case there was no chance in the future. In Lianshan County, in Pan Mei's clinic. Well done, Xiao Pan. Who did you learn this skill from? An old man asked. Master, Pan Jun said with a smile. Recently, he often came to his sister's clinic to practice his skills. He was familiar with the massage method that Wang Yao taught him. Needless to say, the effect was very good. In just a few days, someone came inexplicably. I know, Master. Who is he? The old man asked. The Dr. Wang who used to see patients here. He is a young man. He is younger than you, right? The old man asked. He was a regular customer of the clinic. Whenever he had a headache or fever, he would come to the clinic to have a look. Naturally, he remembered the young man who used to see patients here for a while. He vaguely remembered that the young man was a little delicate and was very good at treating headache. He is younger than me, but his skills are much better, Pan Jun said. There is no seniority in learning. The one who reaches the top is the teacher. Yes, that is the truth, Pan Jun said. Well, after being massaged by you, I feel much better. Thank you. You are welcome. The old man happily paid the money and left. Haven't you been to your master's clinic recently? Pan Mei asked. I went a few days ago. I will go again tomorrow, Pan Jun said. Well, by the way, I heard that the Chinese medicine hospital also invited a traditional Chinese medicine practitioner from the city to see patients once a week. The fee is not low, Pan Mei said. Pan Jun smiled and didn't say anything. In the mountain village, after dinner, Sanguzi and his son stayed in the clinic for a while before leaving. Dad, how is this doctor's medical skill compared to Wu San's? Sang Jimin asked in private. How dare you? Sanguzi said sternly. That is your elder. How can you be so rude? Hey, with his bad temper, what kind of elder is he? You can't slander him behind his back just because he has a bad temper. There is no problem with his character. Although he had opinions, Sanguzi was very fair. Chapter 610. Okay, I know I was wrong. You haven't answered my question yet, Sang Jimin said with a smile. It's hard to say, Sanguzi said. Someone who has been famous in Miaojiang for decades must have real skills. And Wang Yao, don't be fooled by his young age. I've seen his extraordinary skills with my own eyes, and I've talked to him more than once. His knowledge and experience in Chinese medicine is the first I've seen in decades. Maybe he doesn't live up to his reputation? Sanguzi asked. No, curing diseases and saving people is not about other things. It depends on real skills. If he is not good enough, he can't be deceived for decades in Miaojiang. If he is not good enough, he can't be famous in Miaojiang for decades, Sanguzi said. He had been practicing medicine for decades, so he was very clear about it. Curing diseases and saving people relied on real skills. One hears and the other sees. Hey, what do you think would happen if the two of them got together one day? Sang Jimin asked. Sanguzi was silent for a while. They won't meet, Sanguzi said. Both of them lived in seclusion. One was in the south and the other was in the north. What if? Sanguzi asked. I don't know, but they will definitely not be harmonious, Sanguzi replied. Fierce competition? Sanguzi did not continue to answer. After seeing the two of them off, Wang Yao closed the door of the clinic and went home. Well, what's going on? He found that Du Mingyang had a lot of small notes stuck on his forehead. Playing cards, Du Mingyang said with a smile. I was unlucky this afternoon. I kept losing. He laughed happily. Really? Let's play together. Ah, forget it. I'll just watch from the side, Wang Yao said with a smile. He picked up the teapot and poured water for them. He smiled as he watched his brother-in-law play cards. It was not easy to be a son-in-law. He had to make his parents-in-law happy, but he couldn't be too obvious. Who's your friend? Dr. Seng. Oh, the old doctor? Yes, a respectable old man, Wang Yao said. For the whole afternoon, the family did not do anything else. They were happily at home, playing poker, chatting and laughing. Unknowingly, time passed just like that. Ah, time flies. Zhang Xiuying looked at the dark sky outside. Well, good times are always short, Du Mingyang said with a smile. All right, you grandpa and 3 play first. We'll go cook. I'll help. Du Mingyang hurriedly got up. No need. She had cooked quite a lot of food in the morning. Most of them hadn't eaten yet. She heated it up for dinner and then cooked 2 vegetarian dishes. You don't have to make so many dishes. Not much. Hurry up and eat, Zhang Xiuying said with a smile. The more a mother-in-law looked at her son-in-law, the more she liked him. After dinner, the family gathered together to watch TV and chat. Wang Yao went up the mountain at 9 o'clock. He still had something to do tonight. He needed to decoct a medicine for Mr. Wu's illness in Jing City. Pain, which was a symptom of the disease to a certain extent, could only be alleviated. Rhizoma corydalus, Dehurian angelica, licorice, and star anise tongue. It was an analgesic. The medicine was simple and the effect was specific. Wang Yao had used this prescription when he treated Zhou Wukong. These herbs were still available. Star anise tongue was planted in the herbal field. It was simmering with a small fire. The fragrance of the herbs filled the air. Outside the house, the wind was blowing gently. The lights went out. The night enveloped the mountain. Rumble. There was a faint trembling sound. The dog stood up from the kennel. The goshawk flapped its wings on the branches. It seemed to be about to soar into the sky. Rustle! Rustle! A black head poked out of the grass. Wang Yao, who was lying in bed, opened his eyes. What happened just now? He couldn't tell what he felt. The mountain was moving. He listened carefully to see if there was any sound. The mountain was calm again. In the morning, the sun rose as usual. Wang Yao went down the mountain early. He went home to eat and then went to the clinic. Wu Tongxing didn't come, but a woman came. She was like a woman from Jiangnan. She was Gu Yuanyuan. "Hello, sir." Her voice was very soft, like the rain in Jiangnan. "Why are you here?" Wang Yao was a little surprised. "Director Wu can't come because he has something to do, so he asked me to come and get the medicine," Gu Yuanyuan said. "Oh, here is the medicine." Wang Yao took out the medicine he had prepared in advance. "How about the fee?" 10,000. Half-star anise tongue was worth the price. Gu Yuanyuan didn't say anything and paid directly. "When will you be free to go to Jing City?" "I don't have that planned for now." "Oh, is there anything else you need me to do?" Gu Yuanyuan asked. She was like a shy girl next door. "No, thank you. I'll leave now," Gu Yuanyuan said. The purpose of her visit was very simple. Her main purpose was to get the medicine. Another purpose was to ask Wang Yao if he was free to go to Jing City. This was all arranged before she came. Of course, if he had other needs, she would also report truthfully. Then, the Wu family would come forward to coordinate and deal with it. "Take care." Before leaving, she suddenly bowed deeply to Wang Yao. "Why?" Wang Yao hurriedly waved his hand. An invisible force rushed out and lifted her up. "Thank you for speaking up for me last time. That young master has never come to see me again," Gu Yuanyuan said. "Well, I'm glad I didn't bother you." "I'm going to get married on May 1st, Gu Yuanyuan said. "If you are free, please come to Jing City for the wedding banquet." "Okay," Wang Yao said. "Congratulations in advance." "Thank you." When Gu Yuanyuan left, she happened to meet Wang Ru, who came in. "Hello." Seeing that the woman kept staring at her, Gu Yuanyuan's pretty face turned red. She took the initiative to greet her. "Ah, hello. Miss, are you here to see a doctor?" "No, I'm here to get the medicine," Gu Yuanyuan said. "Where are you from?" "Jing City." "Oh, how old are you this year?" Gu Yuanyuan was stunned. "Sister." Wang Yao's voice came from the room. Wang Yao heard their conversation at the door clearly. It's okay. Wang Ru smiled and entered the room. "Well, that girl is quite beautiful. She looks like a virtuous wife. She got married on May 1st, a few months earlier than you." "Ah, that's a pity." "What's there to pity? She has her own other half." For this reason, she refused the temptation of being a mistress of a rich family. "She is a very opinionated woman," Wang Yao said. "Well, it's useless to talk about this. Your brother-in-law and I will get married in October. What about you? What's the situation? Did you break up with Tong Wei?" Wang Ru asked. When there was only her brother in the room, she seemed to have returned to her former character. "Yes." Wang Yao nodded. It had been a few months. They didn't call, text, or have any contact. What was it if they didn't break up? "Do you have a new girlfriend?" "No." "Then what type do you like? Long hair, tall figure?" "Sister, I think you should focus on your marriage with my brother-in-law now. If possible, you should have a child. I think our parents like children." "You can have a few first," Wang Yao said. "A few? What do you think this is? A sow giving birth? How many?" Wang Ru stared at him and said, "What are you giving birth to?" Du Mingyang came in from outside. "It's none of your business. Is there a suitable girl in your company? Introduce her to Yao." "Ah!" Du Mingyang was stunned. "No problem. I'll go back and have a look. In the People's Hospital in Lianshan County." "Doctor, what's wrong with him?" A middle-aged woman asked anxiously. Her husband went up the mountain to herd sheep this morning. He came back before the appointed time. He said he was not feeling well and had a high fever. She didn't take it seriously, but he suddenly fell into a coma. This scared her. She sent him directly to the People's Hospital. Don't worry. We are checking him now, the doctor said. They first gave the patient an antipyretic suppository and asked the patient's family to cool him down physically. Some of the test results would come out later. His blood pressure is very high. Low pressure 140, high pressure 180. Heart rate 95. Is this your husband? Yes. Does he have a history of heart disease? Chapter 6:11. No, it's just that his blood pressure is a little high, the woman said. How much? Wang Yao asked. 140, the woman said. Give him medicine to lower his blood pressure and protect his heart, the doctor said. Such high blood pressure and heartbeat were very dangerous. If the water pipe was broken, water would spray out. If the blood vessels were broken because of high pressure, blood would spray out. Cerebral hemorrhage and internal bleeding were life-threatening. The nurse hurriedly took the medicine and gave it to the patient. When did this happen? Wang Yao asked. This morning. He went out to herd cattle and felt uncomfortable. He was like this when he came back, the woman said. Only half a day? Yes, the woman said. After hearing this, the doctor frowned. His condition is so urgent in such a short time. The test report soon came out. Hiss! The doctor frowned as soon as he read the report. The situation was very bad. It was beyond his imagination. He was a little helpless. Doctor, what do you think? Try your best. The doctor could only say so. It was the first time he had encountered such a disease. Naturally, there was no medical case to refer to. It was inevitable that he would be confused to solve such a situation. Hearing what the doctor said, the woman's heart skipped a beat. It was not a good answer, but there was nothing she could do. She just asked the doctor to try his best. In the mountain village, Du Mingyang and Wang Ru left in the afternoon. It was after 3 p.m. They didn't stay for dinner. They had something to do when they went back. Before leaving, Wang Yao's parents brought them a lot of things, which were given to him by Wang Yao's friends. Hey, I came to your house and brought back so many things, more than what I bought, Du Mingyang said on the way back. These were all given to him by Yao's friends. It's useless to keep them at home, Wang Ru said. How can it be useless? While they were talking, a car came toward them. The road was very narrow. It was barely possible to drive. Be careful, Wang Ru said. The car didn't slow down. It roared past. The license plate number of the provincial capital? The quality is really poor, Wang Ru said. Yes. The car sped all the way. After reaching the mountain village, it decisively turned and went straight to the south of the village. Two people got out of the car. Is it here? One of them asked, pointing at the clinic. That's right, this is the place. The two of them came to the door and knocked, but no one answered. No one. Then what should we do? Let's wait and see. They waited outside for a while. Finally, a villager passed by. Are you here to see a doctor? The man asked kindly. Yes. One of the men nodded. Just you wait. Ah. The two of them were stunned. What was the difference between that and not saying anything? The villager carried the hoe and slowly went down the mountain. The two of them waited outside. How long do we have to wait? They waited for an hour, but they didn't see anyone. They had smoked a pack of cigarettes, and the ground was full of cigarette butts. I say, brother, we came here a little recklessly. Bulsh *T. Who was it that rushed here without eating lunch? Aren't I just trying to leave a good impression on our boss? Oh, it's just a small village clinic. Is it worth it? Ah, I heard that this person may have a conflict with our boss's son. One is in the provincial capital, and the other is in the valley. What conflict can there be? Then why did he arrange for us to come here in such a hurry? The two of them waited until dark, but the clinic still didn't open. Damn it. Let's go and find a place to have a meal first. I said, don't worry. Okay. The two of them came in a hurry and then left slowly. They went to Lianshan County and stayed there for a whole night. Then, they came to the mountain village the next morning. This time, they didn't come very early. They chose to come at about 10 o'clock in the morning to avoid missing Wang Yao again. This time, Wang Yao was in the medical center. The door opened very gently. Hello, are you Dr. Wang Yao? The person was very polite. Yes, I am. You are? Oh, we are here to see a doctor, a man wearing glasses said. See a doctor? Wang Yao glanced at them. Where do you feel uncomfortable? My stomach doesn't feel well, the strong-looking man said. Your stomach? Wang Yao carefully looked at his improvement. Your stomach is fine. How do you know if you don't see it? The man asked. You don't need to see it. You are fine, but your friend is not. Wang Yao pointed at the man wearing glasses. Me? What's wrong with me? He asked with a smile. Your problem is not small. His breath was hot, and the yellow coating on his tongue was faintly visible. Apparently, it was caused by excessive heat and humidity in his body. His eyes were faintly bloodshot, and his gaze was somewhat erratic. This was a sign of uneasiness. Why was he uneasy? It was because his 5 internal organs were not in harmony. Is that so? Can you please take a look? The man asked with a smile. He didn't take it seriously at all. Okay, please sit down, Wang Yao said. Do you like to drink? Drink some. Do you like to eat fried food? Yes, I like it, the man wearing glasses said. Recently, your bowel movements have not been very regular. Do you sometimes have diarrhea? Wang Yao asked. Yes. The man couldn't help but sit up straight. What Wang Yao said was all right. It happened to him. Do you feel a faint pain here? He pointed at the lower part of the man's stomach. Yes, the man said. His friend next to him was a little stunned. What's going on? This doctor is really something, but they didn't come here for this. Isn't this a bit off topic? He gently touched his friend's colleague. Wait a minute, the man said. You drank too much and didn't pay attention to your diet, which hurt your stomach and intestines. Also, there is a problem with your kidney, Wang Yao said. What problem? Wang Yao looked at the man's deep eye bags. Since he entered the room, he had yawned no less than 10 times, but his friend didn't yawn. This was a sign of low spirit. If one's qi and blood were not strong, one's spirit would not be strong. The blood belonged to the liver, and the essence belonged to the kidneys. The essence was stored in the kidneys. Without essence, qi, and spirit. You like girls? Wang Yao said euphemistically. The two men were stunned. You like girls? Why didn't I know? The tall man asked. Well, yes. He admitted it. Everything has to have a limit. You've passed it, Wang Yao said. Hey, now that you mention it, I have a lot of problems. Yes, Wang Yao said. But why haven't I found so many problems in my recent physical examination? Just a month ago, his unit had just organized a very detailed physical examination. His body did have some minor problems. This was true, but it was not as serious as he said. That was the post-examination. There is a problem with your liver. Alcoholic liver, right? Yes, mild. There is a problem with your stomach. Gastritis, right? Yes, chronic, the man said. There is a cyst in this position of the kidney? Wang Yao pointed to the left side of his waist. Damn. Hearing this, the man stood up from the chair. How do you know so clearly? If he had not seen this person for the first time, he would have thought that he had seen his last physical examination report. I am a pharmacist. A pharmacist? Aren't you a doctor? It's all the same. At the same time, the man was a little impatient. Then how do you think I should treat it? This needs to start from the change of living habit. You can't drink alcohol, smoke, eat less fish, and eat more fruits and vegetables, Wang Yao said. Abstinence, exercise more, and exercise more. As Wang Yao spoke, he found that the man opposite him did not seem to be listening. This was a sign of ignorance and fearlessness. He did not know the extent of his body's condition. Well, do I need to take medicine? Your liver and stomach are sick. You need medicine. Can you please prescribe some? Okay. Wang Yao gave him a set of medicine to nourish the stomach and improve the liver. Then, he wrapped it up. Okay, how much is it? After paying, the two men left. Hey, what are you doing? Do you know why we are here this time? The tall man asked after going out of the door. Of course I know, but I have a problem with my body. Can't I get some medicine? You don't say. What he saw was quite accurate. Chapter 6:12. Not bad, the man said. Hey, don't forget why we are here, the other man said. Okay, I know. I didn't forget. Didn't I get the medicine? The man asked. Hey, I didn't know you were that kind of person. Tell me, what's the situation? Come on, you are a man, the man said. Does your girlfriend know? The man asked. I'm not stupid, the man said. The two of them left in their car. Those two men are a bit strange, Wang Yao thought. They didn't seem to be here to see a doctor. Wang Yao didn't think much about it. In the afternoon, a group of people knocked on the door and came in. Hello, are you Wang Yao? The man asked. That's me, Wang Yao said. We are from the Food and Medicine Bureau, the leader of the three men said. Hello, what can I do for you? Wang Yao asked. Someone reported that the herbs you use here don't meet the relevant requirements. All kinds of harmful residues exceed the relevant standard. Please cooperate with our investigation, the man said. Okay, how do we cooperate? We need to take some of the medicine from you, the man said. Go ahead, Wang Yao said. Hello, Dr. Wang. One of the three men smiled and greeted Wang Yao. He looked to be in his 30s. Hello, Wang Yao said. I have been here before with my mother, the man said. You cured her headache. Oh, hello, Wang Yao said. After half a year, Wang Yao had seen a lot of patients. Of course, he couldn't remember all of them, but everyone who came to see a doctor remembered him. How is the old woman's health? She is good, the man said. Can I talk to you somewhere else? The man asked. His two colleagues took the medicine from the medicine box. He and Wang Yao went to the side. Dr. Wang, did you offend someone? The doctor asked. Offend someone? Wang Yao asked. Yes, we received a report from the province. It was called by the health department. The Ministry of Health? Wang Yao suddenly thought of a person after hearing that. Could it be that hedonistic young master? Yes, this matter can be big or small. If they really find out that there's something wrong with the medicine here, they might revoke your business license. Even your medical qualification certificate will be affected. Recently, our province has been very strict with this area. The man kindly reminded. Thank you for your reminder, Wang Yao said with a smile. He asked for the man's name. His name was Yin Jiqing. It was very rare for someone to have such a heart. All right, let's go, the leading man said. All right, let's go then, Dr. Wang. Okay, take care. The three of them left just like that. It felt like they were going through a process. Jiqing, how was it? The leader asked after they went out. I've said everything that needs to be said. If it's really someone from the province, then this matter is very troublesome. If we say there's no problem with these medicines, they can say there's a problem. Don't you think so? The man said. Yes, I hope it's okay. His mother had been suffering from headaches for many years. Thanks to Dr. Wang, she was cured. He was a filial person. He always remembered this kindness. Province? Medicine? After these people left, Wang Yao was thinking about this problem. How to deal with it? He paced back and forth in the room. Wait a minute. He picked up his phone and dialed a number. Then, he called someone directly. Hello. On the other end of the phone, Wu Xingyun was very happy to receive Wang Yao's call. Hello, Dr. Wu. I have a question to ask. Go ahead. Yes, an authoritative organization, one level higher than Qi Province? Wait a minute. Wu Xingyun walked to the table and wrote down Wang Yao's question. Well, if you need an authoritative organization, of course, it's the headquarters. Do you have any problems? He vaguely guessed that Wang Yao might have some problems. Otherwise, he wouldn't have called. Is there a problem with the medicine? Wu Xingyun asked. I'm sure there is no problem with my medicine, Wang Yao said on the other end of the phone. Wang Yao had his own way of identifying Chinese herbs. This was an inheritance from the system. Based on appearance and taste alone, Wang Yao could determine whether there was a problem with the herbs. Some of the herbs used in his clinic were grown in his herbal field. The other part was purchased by Li Maoshuang. Every time the herbs were purchased, he would carefully check them. There had been some unqualified ones, so he directly threw them away. I see, Wu Xingyun said. Can you hand over some of the herbs used in your clinic? I'll ask the authoritative department here to test and analyze them. Okay, I'll hand them over as soon as possible. On the same day, Wang Yao took all the herbs used in his clinic and sent them to Jing by express delivery. It would take some time to test all the herbs. The next morning, another guest came to the mountain village. He was looking for Wang Yao. Hello, Dr. Wang, we meet again. It was Su Zhixing, Su Xiaoshue's brother. Hello, are you Mr. Su? Wang Yao asked. That's me. As he walked, he had an extraordinary momentum. This was because he had been in the army for a long time. What can I do for you? Wang Yao asked. Well, can we sit down and talk? Oh, please sit down, Su Zhixing said. Here's the thing, Wang Yao said. The army I'm in is quite special. The training is also different. I was lucky enough to see your methods. Our army is short of an instructor. What do you think? Instructor? Army? Wang Yao was surprised. Yes. What is it called? Battlefield first aid? I'm not good at that. No, it's kung fu skills and fighting skills, Su Zhixing said. Sorry. Wang Yao refused directly. Hey, don't be in a hurry to refuse, Su Zhixing said. The treatment of being an instructor is very good. You don't have to be there often. You just have to go there a few times regularly. I'm not going, Wang Yao replied. Well, can you teach me? You? Su Zhixing asked. I'm not going to teach you, Wang Yao said. Hey, let me tell you, our army is really good, Su Zhixing said. You can choose any kind of gun, such as automatic rifles, sniper rifles, rocket launchers and tanks, armored vehicles, and armed helicopters. It's very comprehensive. Su Zhixing asked. What kind of army are you in? Wang Yao asked. That's a secret, Su Zhixing said. I'm not going. In the end, all the tricks and words Su Zhixing had prepared before coming were useless. Wang Yao firmly refused him. After coming out of Wang Yao's clinic, Su Zhixing angrily said, why is this person so stubborn? When he was in the army, when had he ever begged someone in such a humble manner? Hello, young master, a clear voice said. Chen Ying stood not far away and looked at the young master of the Su family in surprise. Why is he here? Hey, Ying, what young master? Su Zhixing asked with a smile. How many times have I told you? Call me by my name or just call me brother. Hey, Xiao Zhou, have you recovered? Yes, Chen Zhou said. That's good, Su Zhixing said. Brother Zhixing, are you here to see sir? Chen Zhou asked. No, I have something to ask him for help, Su Zhixing said. Has sir agreed? Chen Zhou asked. No, does he have any special hobbies? Su Zhixing suddenly remembered that Chen Ying had been in contact with him for a long time. She should know his character better. Special hobbies? Well, he's very interested in things related to medicine. Medicine, for example, Su Zhixing said. Ancient medical books, things used in traditional Chinese medicine, such as acupuncture needles, medicine boxes, and so on, Chen Ying said. These things. Su Zhixing remembered them in his heart. Well, I still have something to do, Su Zhixing said. Take care, Chen Ying said. After Su Zhixing left, Chen Ying and Chen Zhou came to the clinic. Did an acquaintance just come? Su Zhixing asked. We saw him, Chen Ying said. He wants to invite me to be an instructor in the army, Wang Yao said. I don't have that ability. You are too modest, Chen Ying said. What can I do for you? Chen Zhou asked. We want to go out and walk around, Chen Ying said. Can you please take a look at Xiao Zhou's illness? No problem, Wang Yao said with a smile. Chen Zhou had been taking medicine, and his condition was stable. It hadn't been long since the last time his meridians shifted. It shouldn't happen again in such a short period of time. Based on Wang Yao's diagnosis and treatment, he felt that Chen Zhou's illness should be cured soon. Chapter 6:13. This was a tough treatment. It relied on hard external influences to form a kind of conditioned reflex. As long as he had any thoughts, he would immediately respond. The effect was naturally very obvious. It had only been more than a month, but the young man had completely lost his thoughts in that area. There was no other reason. The pain was too deep. Because of this matter, he had a good rest and slept well during this period. He listened to Wang Yao's advice and exercised in his free time. His body was a lot healthier and more energetic. This change also made him a lot more confident. He also met a girlfriend. The girl was quite satisfied with him. This was a good thing. However, there was a problem. When he was with the girl, it was inevitable that some intimate actions would occur. It was inevitable that he would have some thoughts. After all, he was a young man. It was the time when he was full of vigor. However, as soon as he had thoughts, his body would have a reaction. The body's reaction was followed by the unforgettable pain. It was instantly like a basin of cold water poured over his head. This was not good. If this went on for a long time, the eccentricity or the strange disease would be solved. However, it would be a tragedy if he could not get it up because of this. After listening to his words, Wang Yao smiled. Don't worry. I'll take a look for you. Wang Yao gave him a careful examination. Your body is much better than the last time you came. I think you can feel it yourself. One could tell how a person's body was just by looking at their complexion. It's a lot better. I can feel it. I'm full of energy, and I dare to speak in front of others. I've become more confident. I just found a girlfriend. She is quite satisfied with me, the young man said. But I'm afraid that this disease has been cured. I hope there won't be other problems. Don't worry. There won't be a problem. I'll solve part of the problem in your body, Wang Yao said. Only part? The young man asked. Although your body has recovered a lot compared to before, the long-term special hobby has caused a lot of damage to your body. Excessive indulgence is like hollowing out the body. This is not an empty statement. The loss of essence is not something that can be cured in a short time. Some things can be done, but they must be controlled. Otherwise, it is easy to have a chronic illness and your body will be hollowed out again, Wang Yao explained. He was young and full of vigor, so his self-control was relatively weak. Some things could become addictive. All right, the young man said. Wang Yao gently patted his lower abdomen a few times, removing about 70 to 80% of the things that had been planted in his body. However, there was still a part left, which was for his own good. After half a year, you can come and find me again. Half a year? The young man asked anxiously. What? Can't wait? Wang Yao asked. Half a year's time was neither fast nor slow, but compared to his long-term health, It was indeed nothing. That's not what I meant, the young man said. Then go back. Remember my words. Otherwise, you don't have to come again. Oh, okay, thank you. The young man expressed his gratitude and left, but Wang Yao could see something in his eyes. You still want to try? In the afternoon, Wang Yao set out from the clinic and went to the Dead Land on Shishan Hill. This land of death had been turned upside down by him. This time, he came here with an idea. He brought a lot of things, such as dandelions and green foxtail. He continued to plant them nearby and watered them with the ancient spring water. The so-called dead land was actually because the excrement of the poisonous insects carried by the rats had polluted the land. Now, he planned to use the vitality of these plants to detoxify the toxins there. Of course, it was just a try. It might not really work. In Lianshan County, the patient is dying. The doctors in several departments were in a consultation. They were very anxious. What's going on? Wasn't the condition stable in the morning? It suddenly worsened. The patient was directly sent to the intensive care unit. All kinds of drugs were given one after another, but there was no medicine for the illness. The patient's condition deteriorated very quickly. He was breathing in more than out, which was a sign that he was about to die. In this case, transfer to another hospital was not possible. After more than 3 hours of urging, the doctors exhausted all methods, but in the end they still could not save the patient. How could this be? The woman's cry, the child's cry, and the old man's cry. A person had several identities: husband, father, and son. No matter which one was, it was irreplaceable for a family member. Sigh. The medical staff who participated in the treatment sighed. They had tried their best to watch a life disappear. As for how to deal with the aftermath, and whether the patient's family would make a fuss, this was something that the hospital needed to coordinate and solve. Dr. Zhao, I think the condition of this patient is very similar to the condition of a previous case, a doctor said. Oh, which one? After a while, the case of a patient was hung out. Look, high fever, abnormal heart rate, blood pressure, and multiple organ failure, the doctor said. The reason why he thought so clearly was that he had also participated in the treatment of this patient. Guo Jinghe. Yes, that's him, the doctor said. I remember very clearly. In order to treat this person, the province and the city sent experts to treat him. It was the first time I had seen such a scene in so many years in this hospital. I also remember what you said, the doctor said. How did he recover in the end? It seems that he got medicine from outside, the doctor said. It's a pity that he is not a local. It's not easy to ask about it. This illness should be just a case. I hope so. Otherwise, it will be troublesome if we encounter it again in the future. On Shishan Hill, Wang Yao went down the hill after finishing his work. He received a call from Jing. It was from Wu Xingyun. Okay, thank you. The matter of getting rid of Wu Xingyun had been handled by Wu Xingyun. There would be a result soon. He went back to the clinic to pack up and then went home. In the evening, on Nanshan Hill, Wang Yao sat in the small courtyard and looked at the sky. It will be good weather tomorrow. The next day the weather was good. However, trouble came early in the morning. Someone from the health department of the city came. The reason was very simple. Some of the indicators of the herbs used by Wang Yao were not up to standard. They needed to be punished. Which indicator is not up to standard? Wang Yao was very calm. This is the test report. Pesticide residue? Yes. The man's face was cold and stiff. Is there a problem with this report? He asked. There is absolutely no pesticide residue in the herbs I have here, Wang Yao said. This is issued by the provincial laboratory. If you have any questions, you can go to the relevant laboratory for a retest. Of course, I have questions, Wang Yao said. It is already in the retest. So, you two have come in vain. Hey, you are quite arrogant. The other person was not happy after hearing that. In the past, wherever they went, the other party would not give them a high price and be polite to them. In the corner at the foot of the mountain, they actually met such a hothead and took it for a test. What was the use of it? I say, don't you understand what we said? There is a problem with your medicine. You have to pay a fine. If there is another problem, you will be disqualified. I said, there is no problem with my medicine. Also, what kind of special treatment are you? Are you bandits? Hey. All right, are you going to pay the fine or not? No. Okay, let's go. The two people did not talk much with Wang Yao. They turned around and left. You are so angry. It is bad for your liver, Wang Yao said behind them. F***ck. One of the people was angry. What did you say? He stopped and turned around to shout at Wang Yao. Haha, you are really a bandit. Why are you shouting? Wang Yao calmly said. He just stared at the man quietly. The man clenched his fists hard. Scum. Wang Yao's words were like poking a hornet's nest. The man rushed over. Get lost. Before he arrived, he heard a loud shout. It was like thunder. Deaf. The man stood rooted to the ground, stunned. Chapter 6:14. Chirp. The little bird was chirping. Meow. The kitten was making noise. There were so many little stars in front of him. He counted them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It was deafening, and giving him a splitting headache. At this time, all kinds of adjectives could not describe his feelings. It was painful. It was too painful. His head was numb and swollen. Other than the buzzing in his ears, he could not hear any other sound. The key was that he was also hallucinating. Phew. He took deep breaths, and it was difficult for him to even gasp for air. He was not the only one who felt uncomfortable. Even the person next to him was affected. His situation was much better than his, but it was also very uncomfortable. Damn, what the hell is this? Lion's roar? Both of them were shocked. The way they looked at Wang Yao changed. This was definitely not a simple matter of talent or coincidence. This person had kung fu. The two men looked at each other and saw panic in each other's eyes. Gulp. They swallowed at the same time, turned around, and ran away. What a joke. It was too scary. The shout gave him a splitting headache. If he had listened to it for a while, his whole head would have exploded. They ran away. Yes, they ran away. What a clown, Wang Yao said with disdain. The two men escaped from the clinic and went to the car. They drove away quickly. After leaving the mountain village, they breathed a sigh of relief, but they were still in shock. Don't drive. Stop on the side of the road and take a rest, the leader said. The car was parked on the side. The two men were still thinking about what had just happened. What happened just now? Who was that person? It was Kung Fu. It was shown on TV. Lion's roar. Isn't that a lie? The one we just met was real. My head is still hurting. It's like I was hit by a wooden stick. It hurts here too. We must have met a real one this time. How many times have I told you to pay attention to your attitude? It's not the first time you've been complained about. Why don't you know how to restrain yourself? You've met a problem this time, haven't you? How would I know we would meet such a monster? Besides, I'm just a temporary worker. I'm not afraid of him. The tall man was still not convinced. You're not afraid? Then why don't you go back and argue with him? I'm not stupid. I'm not going. Whoever wants to go can go. All right, let's drive. If someone else comes in the future, we'll just say that he's not cooperating. When the car was on the road, they went back to report truthfully. In the mountain village, Wang Yao also made a phone call. Obviously, there was someone who did not want to deal with him. After thinking about it, this person was most likely the playboy in the provincial capital. As the saying goes, it is easy to dodge a spear in the open, but difficult to guard against a stab in the dark. He still had to be prepared. He called Tian Yuantu and asked if he knew anyone in this field. He also told him about the situation. Okay, I got it, Tian Yuantu said. Wait for my news. After hanging up the phone, Wang Yao also realized his shortcomings in this aspect. If he wanted to open a medical center and pass down the pharmacist profession, he naturally had to deal with the society. When the time came, he would definitely have contact with these departments. Today's society was a society of human relationship. Connections were very important. Expanding connections? In fact, Wang Yao had a natural advantage in this aspect. Because he was a pharmacist, he treated patients and saved people. As long as one was a human, one would have a headache or fever. One would go to the hospital and find a doctor. Experts and famous doctors were even more popular. It was difficult to get a specialist's position. Wang Yao's level was definitely not worse than those experts. It was just that he had not been too attentive in managing these things. In Hike City, the staff member who returned from the mountain village reported his experience with exaggeration. It's too outrageous. He's too arrogant. This was the evaluation of the higher-up. He must be severely punished. This was the determination of the staff. But soon, a phone call put an end to this matter. Damn, what's his background? He even has to call from there. No wonder he is so arrogant. In the provincial capital, Li Xiaoyang, who was dressed casually, smiled and greeted his colleagues. It's my treat tonight. You must come. Of course, of course. These people knew very well about this rich young man. After all, his father was a big shot in this department. He was not arrogant and domineering. He was generous. The only small problem was that he asked for leave more often. This was not a problem. After all, he had a good father. Arrogance and domineering depended on the capital. Li Xiaoyang went to his office. Not long after he sat down, he received a phone call. What? You didn't succeed? Why? Are you sure? Li Xiaoyang's face was not particularly ugly. In fact, when he failed to punish that guy last time, he felt that the other party had his own connections. He did not expect that the other party was in that position. As the saying goes, a county official is not as good as a person in charge. Although his father had a lot of power in this department of the province, his influence on some of the lower places was definitely weaker, especially those in charge of the local government. It was hard to say whether he could control them or not. Let's see how long you can protect him. Li Xiaoyang's eyes turned. He immediately thought of another way. Since I can't destroy you, I'll ruin you first. Not long after, a piece of news about a mountain village clinic appeared on the internet. It was said with certainty. Of course, because it was not a big piece of news, not many people paid attention to it at the beginning. However, someone added fuel to the fire behind the scenes. Soon, people knew about the mountain village clinic and Lianshan County, which was not a famous county. These doctors are really heartless. That's right. This kind of clinic should be closed immediately. And that doctor doesn't deserve to be a doctor at all. Nowadays, the internet was like this. Some people listened to rumors. A lot of unfounded news and content would be spread crazily by some people. Sometimes there would even be cases of public opinion kidnapping the law. Therefore, the power of public opinion was very scary. Those who used the internet to spread bad news should be severely punished. Under the influence of some people, the click rate of this news was increasing rapidly, and it soon attracted the attention of the relevant departments. It was only one word. Investigate. Then, guests came to Wang Yao's office. People from the Food and Drug Administration, the Health Bureau, and the Industry and Commerce Bureau all came, but they were not there to see a doctor. Wang Yao had all kinds of documents, which could withstand the investigation. Now, he had one more thing in his hand. Are you kidding me? Seeing the certificate in his hand, the people were more surprised than the other. The key was the square stamp. This can't be fake, right? It can't be wrong. There were people who were bold, but there shouldn't be people who were courting death like this. This kind of thing could be found with a simple investigation. Because of this certificate, the investigation of the county and the city obviously stopped. Someone from the top had also said something. The internet? Wang Yao looked at the posts on the internet. Ah, the power of the internet water army is really strong. He had only heard about it before. Now, he experienced it himself. He thought for a moment and called Sun Yunxing. No problem, Sun Yunxing answered very quickly. The operation was very fast. Then, the people who added fuel to the fire were found. The internet was very developed and there were many technical experts. However, there were even more people who were unsatisfied and half-baked. These people were paid to increase the click rate. This was not the first time they had done this. This time, they were caught and sentenced directly. This made them dumbfounded. When they did this, they did not think so much in advance. Soon, they gave a detailed account of everything that had happened, no matter how big or small. Then, one of them was arrested. Damn it! Li Xiaoyang smashed the cup in his hand. He was not afraid of a godlike opponent, but he was afraid of a pig-like teammate. If he hadn't been careful in advance, he was afraid that he would have been exposed and implicated. Well, you are a little capable. Let's take it slowly. Li Xiaoyang got up and carefully cleaned up the glass fragments on the ground. There was a smile on his face again. During this period of work, he had learned a lot of things, such as how to deal with people and deceive each other. He had learned a lot. Chapter 6:15. That evening, while Wang Yao was still at home, San Xian went down the hill and ran straight to the village. He was very fast, like a tiger going down the mountain. Damn, what a big dog! Whose dog is this? It was the first time for many people in the village to see such a big dog. After all, San Xian lived on the hill and rarely came down. Woof, woof. It barked a few times like a lion or tiger. What the hell? Will it bite people? The villagers who wanted to take a closer look hurriedly moved aside for fear of being bitten. San Xian? Wang Yao had already returned home. After hearing the sound, he hurried out of the house and saw San Xian running over. What's wrong? Woof, woof. San Xian barked a few times. Something's wrong. Lead the way. San Xian led the way in front, and Wang Yao followed behind. After leaving the mountain village, hurry up. San Xian's speed suddenly increased. Wang Yao also sped up. Like an arrow leaving the bow, he went more than 30 feet in an instant. San Xian did not go up Nanshan Hill. Instead, he took Wang Yao to the place adjacent to Shishan Hill and Nanshan Hill. Not good. As soon as he entered the stone array, Wang Yao's head buzzed. He saw a person, an old man lying on the ground. He hurriedly squatted down to check. The old man was dead. Not good. What he was most worried about had happened. He hurriedly carried the old man out and hurried down the hill. What's wrong, Yao? Seeing him carrying the old man down the hill, the villagers hurriedly came forward and asked. Uncle is dying, he said. Is this Jiangwo? There was a dead man in the village. This was undoubtedly a big news. The dead man was an old man in his early 70s. He wanted to go up the hill to get some wild vegetables for his children who lived in the county. Nowadays, many people in the city liked to eat bitter vegetables, shepherd's purse, and so on. As a result, he collapsed on the hill. Dad! His children, who hurried back after hearing the news, burst into tears. How could this happen? He was fine when he came last week. Naturally, he had to ask Wang Yao about this matter. Wang Yao just said that he fell on the mountain and was found by the dog. The old man's death had a lot to do with him. He must have been digging wild vegetables on the mountain when he accidentally fell into the rock formation and died because of shock, anxiety, and other reasons. He had to be responsible for this matter. It was a huge responsibility. Is it because of the disease on the mountain? The villagers who didn't know the truth immediately thought of the disease that had broken out some time ago. It's possible. Hey, who dares to go up the West Mountain now? The villager said. Yao, how did he die? Wang Fenghua asked. He heard that the dog had gone down the mountain, so his son hurriedly went up the mountain and carried the old man down. It's not that kind of disease, Wang Yao said. Based on the various signs after his death, I'm guessing that he died of a heart attack, Wang Yao said. Yes, my father does have heart disease, but he's been fine recently. He must have seen something terrible on the mountain, Wang Yao said. The rock formation he had set up was a terrible thing in the eyes of most people. After entering it, one couldn't get out. How could it not be terrible? Terrible thing? Snake? Well, it's hard to say. Wang Yao felt that he was very hypocritical at the moment. He knew the real reason, but he couldn't say it. If he said it, Nanshan Hill and himself would become the target of public criticism. In my opinion, the West Mountain should be closed, a villager said. Don't let people go up there. Yes, there is not much land up there anyway. That night, Wang Yao, who had returned to the mountain, couldn't sleep. He went to the place where the old man fell in the rock formation. The dog followed him. San Xian, it's all my fault, Wang Yao whispered. Woof. Wang Yao walked around the rock formation a few times. Then, he went outside and stood for a long time. In fact, there were 2 rows of trees outside the rock formation, blocking the mountain road. Wang Yao deliberately sealed the place. He was afraid that someone would go up the mountain by mistake and enter the formation. However, someone still came. Under the night sky, he walked back and forth several times. He thought carefully. Destroy it first. He directly broke the rock formation. He didn't need to pull out all the stones. He only needed to destroy a few points. The stone formation would lose its original effect. Plant trees and encircle this place with trees. Call it a place. At the foot of the mountain, in the home of the old man who had just died, several children gathered together. Our father can't just leave like this. That's right. He was fine when he came last week. He went up the mountain and died. He was found by Wang Yao. How can there be such a coincidence? Do you think it's possible that our father was scared when he saw the dog? I heard that the dog was bigger than a calf. It was like a lion. Our father's heart was not good, one of the old man's sons said. That's possible. Then, it's Wang Fenghua's family business. But we don't have any evidence. Evidence? Hiss, I'll go up the mountain tomorrow to have a look. You should be careful. I heard that Wang Yao has a strong background. Strong background? Humph. The next morning, Wang Yao got up early. San Xian, from today on, you will look for the mountain everywhere. If anyone comes near, don't leave. Shout at them from afar, Wang Yao said. Woof, woof. The dog responded. Where is Xiaohei? The dog scurried out. Not long after, a black snake swam over. Xiaohei, patrol the mountain more. The black snake spat out its tongue. It seemed to have become thicker. After arranging everything, he went to the place where the accident happened the day before and went down the mountain. On the other side, one of the dead old man's sons came out of the house. Tisk, fourth brother, why don't you not go? I heard from the villagers that a while ago, the terrible infectious disease broke out from the West Mountain. Recently, not many people have dared to go up the mountain. Eldest brother stopped him. What are you afraid of? He went straight out of the house and went up to Shishan. Lao Si is still stubborn, the eldest son said. Don't let anything happen to him. He went up the mountain by himself. Hey, where did Dad die yesterday? After reaching the top of the mountain, he realized that he didn't know where his father had passed away. In fact, up until now, none of them knew where his father had passed away. They only knew the approximate location. He went up the mountain and walked south along the mountain road. It didn't take long for him to reach the pile of rocks. Is it here? He slowed down his pace and searched around, hoping to find some clues. Yes, I found it. He found a small bag of tobacco and looked at it carefully. It should be the one his father often used. It's here. Woof, woof. Suddenly, he heard a roar and was shocked. He hurriedly got up and looked in the direction of the sound. He saw a dog. It was so big. It was the first time he had seen such a big dog. He had seen a Tibetan Mastiff. This dog was bigger than a Tibetan Mastiff. It looked like a lion. Go quickly. He turned around and left without hesitation, but he didn't dare to run. After a few steps, he looked back. The dog stood there quietly and didn't chase him. Phew, it didn't chase me. He breathed a sigh of relief and found that he was in a cold sweat. He hurriedly went down the mountain. After returning home, his sister and brothers gathered together. How was it? Seeing that he didn't look well, his sister asked softly, Xiaoxi, are you okay? I'm fine. I met the big dog. He swallowed. Were you bitten? Wang Yao asked. No, I was just shocked. The dog was so scary, he said. He was a little scared when he thought about it. If the dog had rushed over, he would have died. It was impossible for him to come back in one piece. Our father must have been scared to death by the dog, he said with certainty. Are you sure? Wang Yao asked. You didn't see the dog, he said. I was shocked when I saw it. My heart was pounding. I haven't come back to my senses yet, let alone our father. That's true, but we don't have any evidence at all. Wang Yao asked. Evidence? I heard that the dog went down the mountain yesterday, and called Wang Yao up the mountain. The dog must have found something wrong with our father and went down the mountain to call Wang Yao. What you said is a little unbelievable, Wang Yao said. Chapter 6:16. What's so mysterious about that? Don't dogs understand human nature? All right, Lao Si, even if what you said is true, we don't have any evidence to prove that our father's death has anything to do with the dog. There are no videos or witnesses, the eldest brother finally said. So, brother, do you mean we should just let it go? Brother, what do you want? Of course, Wang Fenghua's family should be responsible for it. Responsible for it means compensation, right? His eldest brother asked. Of course, we can't let our father die in vain, right? Sigh. Lao Er was a woman. She sighed softly. She knew her brother's thoughts and temperament very well. Lao Si, don't have such an idea. Why? We don't have any evidence. I'll go and argue with them. Lao Si. While Wang Yao was still in the clinic, an uninvited guest went to his house. Fengyi, what do you mean? Sister-in-law, let's not beat around the bush. My father was scared to death by your dog. Upon hearing this, Wang Fenghua and Zhang Xiuying were shocked. What? You said our dog scared Zhang Wo to death? Yes. We don't know about this. I'll call Yao back and ask him. After receiving the call, Wang Yao rushed back as fast as he could. What's the matter? My dog scared an old man to death. What evidence do you have? Wang Yao asked coldly. He was indeed responsible for the old man's death, but he couldn't be so arrogant to ask for an explanation. Of course, I have evidence, Wang Yao said. I just went up the mountain today and saw your dog at the place where my father died. Just because of this? Wang Fenghua and Zhang Xiuying were also stunned. This was too far-fetched. They couldn't accept the reason at all. They felt that it was purely blackmail. Many people in the village have been up the mountain and seen the dog, but they are all fine. Your reason is pure nonsense. In front of his parents, Wang Yao controlled himself very well, and this was because they were from the same village. Otherwise, he would have suffered a lot. If your dog didn't scare him, why did you carry my dad down? This was a classic question. Just like the sentence, if you didn't hit me, why did you help me? The elders in the village are honest and considerate. That's why I care. If it were someone else, I wouldn't care at all. Wang Yao said. You care because you have a guilty conscience. This Wang Fengyi was insatiable. I don't want to talk nonsense with you here. Hurry up and leave my house, Wang Yao said. Because of their noise, the neighbors nearby all came to Wang Yao's yard. Xiaoying, what happened? Isn't this Fengyi? What are you doing here instead of mourning at home? There are a lot of people, Wang Fengyi said loudly. Folks, I'm here to tell you that my dad was killed by them. What? How is that possible? Wang Fenghua and Zhang Xiaoying's faces changed greatly. They were so angry that they trembled. What nonsense are you talking about? Get out! Wang Yao spat out a breath. This was his angry roar. There was still nashi in his breath, but it was controlled very well. It was within a certain range, like a directional explosion. Thump! There was an earth-shattering sound. Wang Fengyi shouted, holding his head. His face was painful. Thump! 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 His ears were full of noise. It hurts. My head hurts. Make way. Please make way. At this time, someone rushed in from outside. Lao Si, what's wrong with you? The people who came in were Wang Fengyi's eldest brother and second sister. When they saw him squatting on the ground with his head in his hands, they immediately came forward. It hurts. My head hurts. He even had blood oozing out of his ears and nostrils. What's wrong with you? His eldest brother and second sister were shocked to see him like this. Unfortunately, Wang Fengyi's ears were buzzing. He couldn't hear what his eldest brother and sister were saying. What's wrong with him? Could it be because of Yao's roar? How can it be so strange? We are all here. We are almost as far away from him. Why are we all fine? It's just that his voice is a little louder. Could it be that he's been possessed? Eldest brother, sister-in-law, Lao Si didn't mean to offend you. You guys are great people. Please forgive him. Wang Fengyi's eldest brother and second sister anxiously said. Yao, what's wrong with him? Zhang Xiaoying couldn't bear it and asked her son. I don't know, Wang Yao said coldly. This kind of guy was purely looking for trouble. Maybe he even wanted to extort money from them. The old man's death was indeed related to him. He didn't deny this point. Although he didn't explicitly admit it, if he could, he would give them some compensation. However, they were so unreasonable and came to make a scene. This was a naked provocation and a slap in the face. Sorry about that. Wang Fengyi was taken away by his eldest brother and second sister. The neighbors around also dispersed, leaving a few people. Xiaoying, if you need help, say it. Fenghua, if he dares to come and make trouble again, shout. Usually, Wang Fenghua and Zhang Xiaoying had a good reputation in the village. They were enthusiastic, honest, and kind to others. They had a good relationship with the neighbors around them. In less than a year, Wang Yao had established a great reputation in the village. His medical skills were extraordinary. He cured a lot of diseases in the village, and a considerable number of them didn't receive any money. The people in the village were very grateful to him. Some people had found trouble in the village, and some people had provoked him. As a result, he sent them directly to the police station. None of them had a good result. Moreover, people from large groups from outside had come to see him, which made the people in the village more awe of the young man. Secretly, many people wanted to have a relationship with him. With so many reasons gathered together, there would naturally be a lot of people to help. Thank you, Zhang Xiaoying said with a smile. After sending everyone away, there were only the three of them at home. Yao, tell Dad whether Uncle Jianqing's death has anything to do with our family, Wang Fenghua said. Dad, he died on the mountain. No one knows what happened at that time, but I asked San Xian. When he died, San Xian was not there. It found out when he came, Wang Yao said. He was going to be the only one who knew the truth about this matter. He didn't want his parents to blame themselves and feel sad. That's good. Dad, Mom, you don't have to take this to heart. It's okay. Your dad and I know. Wang Fengyi was a troublemaker in the village. I thought it would be better if he went out, but he was still like this. What's wrong with Weiqi? At this time, the troublemaker was lying on the Kong and talking nonsense. I told him not to go, but he didn't listen to me. He deserved it. Wang Fengji, the eldest brother, said. Brother, don't say such things now. Let's think of a way first. Is it Wang Yao's doing? What can he do? There were so many people there at that time, Wang Fengji said with a sullen face. What should we do? Send him to the hospital. In this way, the old man's youngest son was sent to the hospital before the funeral. The old man was buried on the third day after his death. All the relatives in the village went to give him some paper money. This was also a favor. In the village, weddings and funerals were very important. Wang Yao's father also went. He left 100 yuan and left. Look at Fenghua. He is so generous. Ah, that's right. When he was in the village, he was not serious. When he went out, he didn't learn to be good. He even learned to blame others. At this time, the old man was lying on the hospital bed and crying. I feel uncomfortable. My head hurts. His head had been hurting for a day. It was numb, and swollen. This feeling was as if his brain was soaked in water on the surface of the sea. It was constantly expanding. It was as if his head was going to swell. He couldn't sit or lie down. He couldn't sleep at all. It was very unbearable. It was very uncomfortable. He felt that he was going crazy. No, I have to leave the hospital. He didn't care if his family could hear him. You are crazy. The doctor said that your situation is a bit special and unstable. You need to be hospitalized, his wife said. Chapter 6:17. Today is the day of Dad's funeral and burial. He had no choice but to give such a reason. What a filial son! The family members of the patient praised him. Hurry up! Wang Fengyi got out of bed with a headache. His wife was stunned. She thought her husband had really changed his temperament. In the past year, except for festivals, he never went home to get noodles and eggs. Suddenly, he became a filial son. Wang Fengyi felt dizzy. He walked unsteadily out of the hospital and returned to the mountain village. In the mountain village, on Dongshan Mountain, people in the village who died were generally buried on Dongshan Mountain. More than one feng shui master had seen it. The feng shui on the mountain was very good. The paper money turned to ashes. The firecrackers crackled. Children cried. On Nanshan Hill, Wang Fengyi stood at the top of the mountain and looked over. I'm sorry. Have a safe journey, he whispered. He then recited a passage of scripture. The crying gradually stopped. People left one after another and went down the mountain. The life of an old man was over. When Wang Fengyi returned home, the funeral people had already returned. They were surprised to see him. Lao Si, why are you back? Wang Fengji asked. Have you recovered? No, where is Dad? He has been buried. Wang Fengyi's vision went black. He suddenly sat on the ground. They all said that Wang Fengyi was heartless and did not show filial piety to his parent. It seems that he still has some conscience. Well, yes, he was hospitalized and rushed back. For a time, the villagers' impression of him changed a lot. Lao Si, go back to the house and have a rest. After the funeral, the host of the funeral had to provide meals. They set up several tables in the old man's house and invited the relatives and friends to eat. Wang Fengyi was lying on the Kong. He was dizzy and nauseous. Lao Si, what do you want to eat? I can lend you some. No need, you are busy. Wang Fengyi waved his hand. He didn't come back for the funeral, nor for the so-called discovery of his conscience. He came back purely for his illness. He knew very well that his illness must have been caused by Wang Yao. He also heard that Wang Yao's medical skills were amazing. Many people from other places specially came to see him. He came back home to treat his illness. Wang Fengyi couldn't do it, but his head had been uncomfortable for a day, and he really couldn't stand it anymore. Now, he was willing to kneel down and kowtow, let alone admit his mistake. As long as his disease could be cured, he didn't care about his face. If it went on like this, he would commit suicide. Was his face more important or his health more important? Were they all important? All right then. What? Are you going to admit your mistake? Wang Fengji was stunned after hearing his brother's words. He was very clear about his brother's temper. He was very stubborn. He was a person who didn't touch anyone. Today, he actually took the initiative to admit his mistake. Why? What did you say? Brother, speak louder. He said loudly. In addition to the discomfort and nausea, his hearing had not fully recovered. When others spoke to him, they had to come closer and speak louder so that he could hear clearly. I asked you why. I was wrong. Wang Fengyi shouted. At this time, there were still people in the house who hadn't left. They heard the voice inside. What was wrong? It's Wang Fengyi, right? Did he repent? They were all confused. After waiting for the people to leave, Wang Fengyi went to Wang Yao's house with the help of his brother to apologize. What? Wang Fenghua and Zhang Xiuying were stunned. The change came too fast. The day before yesterday, he was quite arrogant. Why did he admit his mistake today? Yao is not at home. You can wait for a while. They waited for more than half an hour. Wang Yao came down from the mountain. I can't cure this disease, Wang Yao said after glancing at him. Yao, can you take a look at him again? Wang Fengji asked. Uncle, I have seen him. I can't cure him. He had just come to find trouble. If he didn't teach him a lesson and make him remember, he would definitely not stop in the future. I was wrong. Big brother, sister-in-law, Xiao Yao, please forgive me, Wang Yao said. Wang Fengyi almost cried. He had enough of this uncomfortable feeling. He might as well stab him directly. He was almost about to kneel down as he spoke. Get up. Wang Fenghua saw him and supported him. Yao. Dad, I can't cure him, Wang Yao said. He knew that his parents were soft-hearted, but he couldn't be soft-hearted at this moment. He had to let him suffer for a few days. He had to remember it deeply and unforgettable for the rest of his life. In the end, they returned empty-handed. F***ck, this little bastard. Wang Fengyi was angry. He cursed loudly as soon as he went out of the door. Wang Yao naturally heard it. Sure enough, it's not deep enough. Wang Fengyi, who went out, suddenly covered his head. What's wrong? His brother hurriedly asked. I have a terrible headache. It was a sudden tingling. The disease in his head was caused by Wang Yao's roar. He didn't become an idiot because Wang Yao was merciful. He needed to rest and couldn't get angry. Once he got angry, his qi and blood would surge, which would only aggravate the disease. His anger just now made his qi and blood surge, which was like adding frost to snow. Help me sit down, brother. The buzzing in his ears that had disappeared appeared again. After sending the two brothers away, Wang Yao returned to the clinic not long after. In the past few days, the clinic had begun to see the old people one after another. Most of these people had minor problems. Wang Yao's wish was fulfilled and he was promoted to another level. After leveling up, he received a skill point and a bag of herb seed. The seedlings were like orchids, the stems were red, the joints were green, and the flowers were white and purple. It removed the evil spirit in the heart and abdomen, removed the jaundice, dissolved the blood poison, and improved the water channel. It was a medium-grade medicine. The restriction gave him a skill point. Wang Yao added it to the medicine-making technique. Suddenly, the pharmaceutical knowledge in his mind expanded again. All kinds of pharmacology, yin and yang, and the 5 elements collided with each other. He felt that the level of his personal knowledge seemed to have risen to a level. His understanding of medicine was deeper. This was a winding path leading to seclusion. It was also reaching the peak. Phew! He let out a long breath. It was not easy to go one step further. From now on, it would be more and more difficult. The sky gradually darkened. In Lianshan County, a young man and woman were sitting by the window in a Western restaurant that was quite stylish in this county. They were affectionate. In such a place, the phone charge was not low. The taste of the food was ordinary. Most of the people who came were young people in love. "Why don't you eat?" the woman asked with a smile. "I'm full just by looking at you. You're a feast for the eyes." "You're so talkative." The woman blushed. She did not like to be praised, let alone by the person she liked. "Shall we watch a movie after dinner?" "Sure." After dinner, they watched a movie. After the movie, they talked. This was a routine question. The plot of the movie was ordinary. This was a small screening hall. There were not many people in it. There were 3 young men and women. 2 of them were already hugging each other. The young man gently held his girlfriend in his arms and began to be restless. "Bad guy," the woman whispered. "Haha." It was late at night. That night, the rain hit the banana leaves, and the snow pressed the tender branches. After 2 rounds of lovemaking, he was craving for more and wanted more. The young man suddenly felt a sharp pain in his lower abdomen. He could not help but cry out. "What's wrong?" The woman beside him asked hurriedly. "Nothing," the man said. "I suddenly had a stomachache. Maybe it's because I drank." "Well, I'm tired. Let's sleep." "Okay." The man hugged the woman, but he could not fall asleep. He thought of the doctor's advice. "Sure enough, I can't overdo it. In Lianshan County People's Hospital, vomit." Wang Fengyi was lying on the hospital bed vomiting. "Look at you. I told you not to go, but you didn't listen to me. You're even worse." His wife was angry. Wang Fengyi did not even have the strength to talk back at this time. His head was uncomfortable, and he was nauseous and vomiting. He had no strength. He felt dizzy when he moved a little. Chapter 6:18. Wife, shall we transfer to another hospital? Transfer to another hospital? Where to? Wang Fengyi's wife was also a little worried. They had been staying there for 2 days. Why didn't they see any improvement? It seemed to be getting worse. Although her husband had all kinds of problems, he was very good to her and their children. They had a complete family with him. She didn't want to cause any major problems. It was not good to leave a permanent illness. Hike or the provincial capital. The doctors here can't do it, Wang Fengyi said. His voice was quite loud. Coincidentally, a doctor came in and heard his words. His face turned green. Who can't do it? How can a man say that? With a gloomy face, Wang Fengyi asked about the conditions of the patients in the 2 beds next to him. He didn't say a word to him. Wang Fengyi's wife hurriedly followed him and came back not long after. How is it? Wang Fengyi asked. Will you die if you speak quietly? The doctor is not happy, but he agreed to transfer. As long as he agrees, I don't care whether he is happy or not, Wang Fengyi said. He didn't have a good impression of doctors. They were hospitalized the same day in Hike People's Hospital for treatment. This situation is a bit rare. The doctor in Hike People's Hospital felt a little tricky after checking his condition. Soon, they had an expert consultation and discussed a treatment plan. It's finally reliable. Wang Fengyi breathed a sigh of relief, but his head was still very uncomfortable. In the mountain village, Wang Yao chose a suitable place to plant the newly obtained seeds of Zidane in the herbal field. He then made a phone call and asked for a lot of trees. There were trees and shrubs. He wanted to use the trees as a wall to separate the mountain forest and create a world of its own. This was the case on the east, west, and south sides, leaving only a small path in the north. That night, he studied for a long time. He took out the drawings and drew and wrote until late at night. The next morning, when he went down the mountain, he saw Wan and her son walking by the river. The son supported his mother and walked very slowly. "Hello, Dr. Wang," Wan said. "Hello, how have you been feeling these days?" "Very good," Wan said. "Now that I can sleep, I have strength, and I can eat. I feel the air in the village is good, so I got up in the morning to take a walk." "Well, okay. You can only move lightly in your current condition. You should focus on recuperating," Wang Yao said. "Oh, I got it. Thank you." She was satisfied that she could recover to this extent and was still alive. Naturally, she was very grateful to this young man with extraordinary medical skills. "You're welcome." On the way, they met some villagers. Some of them had seen each other several times, and some of them were familiar with each other. The mother and son took the initiative to greet them. They had been in the village for some time and knew that most of the villagers were simple and honest. On weekdays they would buy some eggs, chickens, and ducks from them. The neighbors would also take the initiative to give them vegetables, pancakes, and other food. They were very hospitable. The villagers also knew that there were 5 people in the village, all from other places. They rented a house to see Wang Yao. In addition, there was the son of the Sun family a while ago. Such a rich person had come to see him. Therefore, they also understood that the young man, who had been laughed at by them, was really capable. What about the brother and sister? When the mother and son were chatting, they talked about Chen Ying and Chen Zhou. In fact, they had seen each other several times and greeted each other. "I'm not sure," Fan Yuan said. The sun was very warm. The mother and son walked on the road like this. They followed the river to the south of the village, and then turned back. Wang Yao went home and then went to the clinic. He found several kinds of drugs and was ready to start to try new drugs. Yesterday's upgrade had given him a new understanding of making drugs. He wanted to try again. In the morning, a patient in his 50s came to the clinic. He was very thin. His cheeks were sunken. He had cerebral thrombosis. His left arm and left leg had not recovered. He could only move his left arm, but his fingers could not be clenched. His left leg was not strenuous. He walked with a limp. "How long has it been?" Wang Yao asked. "About November or December last year." "He stayed in the hospital for nearly 20 days, the woman who brought the patient said. "Does he have diabetes?" Wang Yao asked. "Yes, dietary diabetes," the woman said. "Is he taking medicine now?" "No, he is injecting insulin," the woman said. "Come on, let me have a look." Wang Yao carefully checked the patient. Most of the teeth in his mouth had fallen out. "Do you still smoke?" Wang Yao asked. "No, I have quit," the man said. "Move your arm and let me have a look." The patient moved his arm. He could raise his arm, but he could not bend it freely. Needless to say, his fingers were not flexible at all. His left hand was colder than his right hand. This was a sign of qi and blood blockage. "Sit down." Wang Yao first massaged the left arm, the left half of the torso, the left leg, and the head. "How do you feel?" Wang Yao asked. "It was a bit cold at first, but now I feel warm," the man said. He was afraid of cold, and the left half of his body was cold. After more than an hour of massage, he felt much warmer. Wang Yao took out 3 silver needles and inserted them into 3 acupuncture points on his head. He rubbed and twisted them several times before removing the needles. "Don't be in a hurry to leave. Sit for a while before you leave. Come back every other day. You can see the effect in 7 days," Wang Yao said. The patient's condition was relatively good. He had been sick for a short time. He was careful in daily life, so his condition did not worsen. "Okay." The patient who was sitting down kept moving his fingers. "Don't worry. This kind of disease needs to be slowly recuperated," Wang Yao said. "Doctor, is massage enough? Don't I need to take medicine?" I'll prescribe medicine according to the situation the next time you come, Wang Yao said. He felt that the patient did not need medicine. He could be cured with acupuncture and massage alone. Okay. How much is it? $200. So expensive, the woman thought. The outpatient massage outside was only $50. Although she thought so, she still took the money. Is there anything else I need to pay attention to, doctor? I've already written it. Wang Yao wrote down some precautions and handed it to the woman. Come back the day after tomorrow. Okay. The woman helped her father out of the clinic. It's so expensive. I don't want to come back, the man muttered as soon as he left the clinic. Come. As long as he can cure your disease, let alone $200, even $2,000 or $20,000 will do, the woman said. I heard from a friend that this doctor's medical skills are very good. Okay. Let's try again. In the afternoon, Li Xiu brought a truck of saplings, arbors, and shrubs, which were only part of Wang Yao's order. So fast? I happened to have some in the nursery, so I wanted to send them over, Li Xiu said. Okay, let's go up the hill. Okay. As usual, the saplings were all unloaded at the foot of the hill. There are so many of them. Do you want to carry them up yourself? Li Xiu asked. Yes. I'll send you another truck tomorrow. Okay. After they left, Wang Yao began to get busy. The bundles of saplings were not very heavy, but it was a little troublesome to carry them. Wang Yao went back and forth between the hill and the foot of the hill. He was very fast. It did not take long for the truck of saplings to be transported to Nanshan Hill. After breakfast, he went up the mountain early and began to mark a place to the west of Nanshan Hill. There was a row of trees here, but they were not in a row. They just blocked the path that was originally trampled on. This time, he wanted to line up these trees into a row and block the path. He chose the location and made the mark. Starting from tomorrow, I'll see patients in the morning and plant trees in the afternoon. The next morning, the clinic opened as usual. Not a single patient came to the clinic in the morning. Instead, Chen Ying and Chen Zhou came back from playing outside and came to visit. In the afternoon, Wang Yao hung the wooden sign and went up the hill. He dug a hole and planted trees. The dog cooperated with him. The man and the dog had a tacit understanding. In just one afternoon, a row of trees was placed on Shishan Hill. San Xian, go and fetch water. Chapter 6:19. Woof, woof, woof. San Xian carried a bucket of water and soaked himself in the herbal field. He filled the bucket with water from the pool and ran to the place where the trees had just been planted. He ran as fast as lightning and did not spill much water. I'll leave these trees to you to water. Is that okay? Woof. San Xian seemed to enjoy the job. He went back and forth between the trees and the herbal field. He was never tired. Oh, what a happy guy! San Xian was still watering happily when Wang Yao went down the hill. In a house on the outskirts of Lianshan County, a man in his 50s was sitting on a bench and moving his fingers. He was holding 2 walnuts in his left hand. He was slowly and laboriously turning them with his fingers. Bam! Because his fingers did not listen to him, he could not hold them properly. One of the walnuts fell to the ground. He bent down and picked it up with his right hand. He put it back in the palm of his left hand and began to turn it slowly. The door of the house opened. A woman in her 20s came in. How are you, Dad? Do you feel better? Yes, I feel better than yesterday, the man said. The doctor's treatment worked. He felt that his fingers were more obedient than yesterday, and his arms seemed to be lighter. Of course, the change was not so obvious. It could be his own illusion. Shall we try again tomorrow? Okay, let's try again. That night, Wang Yao went to Shishan Hill again after dinner. He looked at the places and found that the dandelions and bristle grass had survived. He gave them some ancient spring water. After returning to Nanshan Hill, he began to try new drugs. At the very beginning, he had thought of several medicines, mainly for the more common diseases such as high blood pressure and diabetes. However, after receiving the man the day before yesterday, he decided to try another medicine, a medicine that could open up the channels and collaterals. Of course, it was not the blood deblicking powder. That medicine was prescribed by the system, and it required the use of licorice roots as the main ingredient. As a result, the cost was too high, and ordinary patients could not use it at all. Inconvenience of hands and feet was more distressing than diseases such as diabetes. No one wanted to be a cripple. Wang Yao had seen people who couldn't move because of thrombosis, and more than once. In their eyes, he saw unwillingness, helplessness, and decadence. Being unable to move for a long time was a blow to their normal mentality. That was why he wanted to start from this aspect. On one hand, he could treat and save people. On the other hand, he could spread his reputation and complete the mission. Ephedra, Angelica, White Peony, Angelica, Radix Angelici, Radix Angelici, Radix Angelici, Radix Angelici. He selected a few medicinal herbs, then carefully ground them into powder, sifted them, and ground them again. Finally, after all of them were turned into several very fine medicinal powders, he put them into convenient bags. In fact, in terms of medicinal efficacy, the decoction was the fastest, but it was not easy to preserve, so he decided to make it into a pill. This way, it would be easier to preserve, and the medicinal efficacy would be more concentrated. The next morning, the man who came the day before yesterday came to the clinic again, accompanied by his daughter. "Do you feel better?" "Yes, it's a little better," the man said. "How do you usually recover?" "When I have nothing to do, I walk around and pick walnuts," the man said. In his current situation, he could no longer do a normal job. His home was close to the county, so he had a yard and a few acres of land outside the house. He was now farming and raising a few chickens and rabbits. In addition, when he was free, he slowly walked around the village. "Well, good, do it well." Wang Yao first checked him. "Hold my hand and shake it hard." The skin of the man's palm was very rough and a little abrasive. His fingers were relatively thick. At first glance, it was obvious that he had exerted a lot of strength, but his hand was weak. "Well, good." This time, Wang Yao first gave him acupuncture. He inserted the needles into several acupoints on his head, shoulder, and arm. Before the needles were finished, there was a knock on the door outside. It was Pan Jun who came in. "Master, you're not at work. Take a seat first. If you want to drink tea, make it yourself." "Okay, you're busy." Pan Jun sat aside and watched Wang Yao insert the needles. In summary, it could be summed up in 2 words: steady and accurate. Because he wanted to learn massage, he had to remember the various acupoints of the human body. However, remembering and using them flexibly were 2 different things. When massaging, the acupoints were not far apart. If there was a mistake, there would not be too much of a problem. However, acupuncture was different. When the needles were inserted into the acupoints, it could cause very serious consequences. It could even lead to death. It was rumored that Hua Tuo had seen a patient recently. When the doctor made a mistake in inserting the needles into the vital acupoints of the liver, even he could not do anything about it. Within a few days, the patient died. After inserting the needles, he waited for a while before putting them away. Putting away the needles was also very particular. As for acupuncture, Pan Jun did not know anything about it. He did not know anything about it, so he just watched. After the acupuncture, he waited for about 20 minutes. Wang Yao began to massage the patient's acupoints. Seeing this, Pan Jun's eyes lit up. A while ago, he had focused on this. Recently, he had started to use it on patients in his sister's clinic. The effect was good and he had received quite a lot of praise. However, the more patients he came in contact with, the more he felt that he did not learn enough. He knew too little. Some patients' diseases could not be treated. If it had been his master at that time, it would have been easy for him to treat them. Come on, hold it firmly. Wang Yao massaged him while letting him move his arms and fingers. Follow the strength. Don't rush. Pan Jun, who was at the side, was watching very carefully and seriously. Master, what disease does this patient have? He has difficulty moving after thrombosis. Pan Jun naturally knew about this disease. In fact, this disease was very common nowadays. It was usually caused by high blood pressure, diabetes, and so on. The onset of the disease was very fast. At the beginning, people might not think about it. They just felt very tired and had a headache. They just thought that they were tired from work and thought that they would be fine after sleeping. However, when they woke up, they found that the corners of their mouth were slanted, their hands and feet did not listen to them, and they could not move. For this disease, even if the difference was only an hour's difference, the treatment effect could be very different. Can this disease be treated with massage alone? It depends on the situation. If it is serious, massage alone is definitely not enough. It needs to be supplemented with medicine and acupuncture. If the disease is slightly less serious, it should be possible, Wang Yao said while treating the patient. Master, tell me in detail. Okay. Wang Yao explained slowly and carefully while giving the massage. He not only talked about the medical theory of massage, but also talked about some things to pay attention to in daily life. In this way, the father and daughter who were treating the patient would not feel bored, and they would listen very carefully. The degree of recovery in the later stage of the disease has a lot to do with the individual's life and exercise, Wang Yao said. The blood sugar must be controlled. If the patient had thrombosis again, if the treatment was not timely or the treatment effect was not good, the consequences would be disastrous. The patient might be in a wheelchair or directly paralyzed in bed. Wang Yao massaged the arms, legs, torso, and head. When it came to the head, Pan Jun saw very carefully and asked more questions. Because he was giving massage in his sister's clinic, he did not dare to touch the head. This was also because he had his own concerns. The head was not like other places. He did not dare to touch the head for a long time. Remember what I told you. Some diseases can be treated this way and some can't. Yes, I remember, Pan Jun said. Do you also open a clinic? The man in his 50s asked with a smile. After Wang Yao's acupuncture and massage, he felt much better. It was strange to be silent all the time. No, I don't open a clinic. I am a doctor, Pan Jun said. Doctor, which hospital? The county hospital, emergency department. The father and daughter were stunned. A doctor from the county hospital came to the clinic to study and called this young man Master. It was unreal. Wang Yao did not say much. After the treatment, the father and daughter left after paying the consultation fee. You're tuning in to the Phoenix Nights YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.